In Zhongzhou, in the territory of Yuan Kingdom, at the foot of the Mountain of Jealousy. Ling Tian, right and wrong have been at odds since ancient times. Today, our famous and righteous way will definitely kill you here to avenge the revenge of the past. Looking at the dark crowd in front of them, all of them were filled with righteous indignation and sharpened their knives. And the countless mutilated corpses on the ground, Ling Tian was completely stunned. Kill! What the is going on? I've crossed over. At this moment, a wave of memories rushed in, and the fragmented picture was quickly integrated and constructed in Ling Tian's mind. The devil? I actually became the great devil of the Xianming sect, the ancestor of the devil, Ling Tian. Ling Tian couldn't imagine it. Before he died, he was still a good young man who obeyed the law and helped his grandmother to cross the road when he went out. In the blink of an eye, he turned into a terrifying and invincible head of the Xianming sect. However, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that now he is about to finish the calf. Ling Tian, your millennium limit has fallen, and your cultivation has plummeted to the mere martial master's great perfection realm. Even if you put your wings on it today, you can't escape death. The one who spoke was Li Yuntian, the head of the Kang Yun sect, a master at the peak of the martial emperor. At this moment, he looked at Ling Tian with the eyes of a saint looking down at an ant, extremely contemptuous. Ling Tian had never been treated like this in his entire life. Recalling that he stepped into the peak of Emperor Wu at the age of 15 and became the youngest Emperor Wu in the history of Zhongzhou Haotu. At the age of 17, he broke through the peak of Emperor Wu and entered the great perfection realm of Emperor Wu. Since then, he has traveled around the world to find all kinds of high-level life and death duels, and he survived all by himself. At the age of 20, his strength reached the peak of the martial god. Since then, the Xianming sect was founded and dominated the world. Regardless of whether they are good or evil, everyone is frightened and dare not fight against each other. Now, he was surrounded and killed by various sects in front of his house. How could Ling Tian be able to swallow this breath? The devil, I didn't expect myself to be today. Not only the Xianming sect was split, the cultists betrayed, but even the disciples wished you were killed by us sooner. What is this called? Nai Feng, the head of Qing Xian sect, sneered contemptuously. The contemptuous expression and tone almost caught up with Li Yuntian. That's right. Don't think you'll be fine if you hide under the barrier of spiritual power. You are already at the end of the shot, why don't you come out and die? Maybe we can still keep your whole body. Otherwise, when your spiritual power is exhausted, it will be you. When the corpse was torn to pieces, the master of Tianjiang Pavilion, Jian Feishan, was even more disdainful, and he swiped his sharp sword in front of him, revealing a cold murderous aura. Looking at the people in front of them, all of them are the sect masters of the major sects. The sect master of Xuanyu sect, Chang Fenji, the head of Qianlong sect, Chen Yifeng, and the head of Aoxu sect, Lang Yishan. Most of their cultivation bases have reached the middle and late stage of Emperor Wu, and some even reached the peak of Emperor Wu like Li Yuntian. There are no more than 30 people with such cultivation in the Yuan Kingdom, and no more than 100 people in the vast land of Zhongzhou. And today, in order to kill him, he has gathered a full 10 masters of the martial emperor realm. How much do these people want to kill me? Ling Tian gritted his teeth tightly, really wanting to rush out of the barrier and smash them. However, he has reached his limit, his strength has plummeted, and his current Qi Danshan is even more shriveled and depleted, and he can't even use the slightest spiritual power. Sect Master Li, let's stop talking nonsense with this greedy, shy person. Sect Leader Nai is right. Let's do it. Yes. Let's do it. Hearing the opinions of the heads of the various factions, Li Yuntian squinted his eyes slightly, and smiled evilly in his heart. He immediately raised the sword in his hand and pointed it at Ling Tian. Then act for the heavens and kill this peerless devil. Kill. At this moment, they are all staring at each other. The sword in his hand is even more ferocious. As he raised his hand, a series of stern and powerful spiritual powers slashed towards the spiritual power barrier that wrapped Ling Tian's body. What should I do? Seeing this, Ling Tian felt anxious. Boom! There were bursts of tremors, and Ling Tian's frail body that was on the verge of death couldn't resist at all. I just felt that my internal organs were about to be shattered, and a large mouthful of blood spurted out immediately. Not to mention the spiritual barrier that wraps the whole body. As long as it is smashed like this again, it will be broken within 3 minutes. At that time, I will really become the fish on the chopping board, and I will be slaughtered by others. What are you afraid of, invincible in the world? It's just trash. I'm too unlucky? Is there a golden finger? Give the system a life-saving head office. Boom! The violent shaking sounded again, and Ling Tian was so shocked that he vomited blood again. Seeing that the spiritual barrier had cracked, Ling Tian's heart was even more anxious. Ding! It is detected that the host has correctly entered the keywords system and life-saving, and the absolute domain system is officially launched. Ling Tian was stunned for a moment. This is fine. Immediately, a window appeared in front of Ling Tian. Name, Ling Tian. Race, human. Lifespan, 8 hours, you can purchase a life extension card to continue life. Status, leader of Xianming sect, patriarch of Demon Dao cultivation, martial god. Great perfection realm. Absolute field range, 0 meters, with itself as the center of the circle to the surrounding area without dead ends. Exchange points, 0. Props, none. Seeing that he had only 8 hours left to live, Ling Tian almost jumped into a rage. What kind of broken system is this? It's a fool. Even if the Danshan is exhausted, I have become immortal and can't cultivate. How can I save myself? What if there are only 8 hours left in my lifespan? Is it really necessary? Am I being smashed to pieces by these ruthless people now? Ding! It is detected that the host's life is on the verge of death at the moment, and a copy of the special reward system manual, is it used? Puff! Ling Tian almost vomited out a mouthful of blood. It's all at stake. Tima will reward you with a system manual, just use it. At this moment, the system manual turned into a light and quickly merged into Ling Tian's mind. All system knowledge, just like Ling Tian's original memory, is naturally clear. The so-called absolute domain means that the host will have absolute control within the range that is centered on the host itself and has no dead ends around it. Whether it is any terrible person or thing, as long as it enters the host's domain, life and death are only within the host's thought, and there is no way to fight back. The absolute domain range, life, props, etc., all need to be exchanged at the corresponding exchange points. As for the main source of exchange points, it is obtained by completing system tasks. Knowing this, Ling Tian's heart finally settled down. Ding! It is detected that the host has successfully completed the manual study, and an additional yellow grade special life extension card, a yellow grade primary grade domain card, and a Tian grade high grade absolute counterattack card will be awarded. Do you want to use it? It goes without saying, use. Ling Tian's thoughts just came out, but the spiritual barrier was completely shattered at this moment. Without the protection of the barrier, Ling Tian was completely exposed to everyone's swords like a target. Seeing that the barrier was broken, everyone was overjoyed, and they rushed up like a mad dog. Ling Tian was unavoidable at this moment. In the void, one after another fierce cold light mixed with strong spiritual power whirring and slashing down. When there was no hesitation at the moment, Ling Tian immediately concentrated his thoughts. Staring at the swords slashing from all around, he cried out in his heart. Stop! 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 Seeing that the sharp swords were about to hit Ling Tian's head, all the swords stopped at the same time and at the same distance. Everyone was shocked. The head of the Kangyan sect, Li Yuntian, frowned even more, thinking secretly in his heart. Stop it! What's going on here? This devil's spiritual power should have been exhausted by us long ago, How can we resist it? Yes. How is this possible? Just when the sect masters were puzzled, Li Yuntian smiled coldly. Don't panic, everyone. It is rumored that the demon lord Ling Tian possesses countless treasures of the heavenly grade. It is not surprising that he can block our attacks. So, as long as this devil is killed, all the secrets, magic, and weapons and mounts on the mountain of unrequited love will not fall into the hands of our factions. That's right. This is the perfect opportunity we've been waiting for 1,000 years. Hearing what the sect masters said, Li Yuntian sneered in his heart. After all, his cultivation is at the peak of Emperor Wu. As long as he makes a move, he will definitely be able to win more heavenly treasures from other sects. For the sake of the heavenly treasures on the mountain of unrequited love, everyone will work harder. There is no difference, this devil will surely die. Li Yuntian encouraged everyone again. Sect leader Li is right. This devil is gone, and he will be executed here today. Kill. Everyone spoke in unison, and the sound was so loud that it made people's ears hurt. One by one, as if they were beaten with blood, regardless of how they tried to control the impact of the sword in their hands, regardless of their spiritual power. But even though the spiritual power was surging, the sword that slashed in front of Ling Tian did not move. As if it was blocked by an invisible and hard steel plate. Seeing this scene, Ling Tian was overjoyed. Absolute domain, really amazing. As long as it is within my domain, I am heaven, I am God, and I am the creator who controls everything in the world. He stood up slowly, his face was as calm as water, and the whole person revealed a cold indifference. Sudden. His eyes snapped open, and the sword in front of him suddenly shattered and turned into powder. When everyone saw this, Yu read www.yuyuganshu.com suddenly felt nervous. Immediately after jumping several dozen feet away. What's going on here? What the happened? Even if this devil has a heaven-grade exotic treasure, it must be motivated by a powerful spiritual force. Could it be that this devil is as rumored to have the way to turn the world around? Impossible. This kind of exercise against the sky has never appeared since ancient times. Seeing the shocked expressions on the faces of everyone in front of him, Ling Tian tilted his head with a hint of contempt on his face. That's it. Everyone looked at each other. Immediately, he tried to sense the fluctuations of spiritual energy in Ling Tian's body, and wanted to find out. In the end, he found that Ling Tian's body was dead and unmoved, just like a mortal. Li Yuntian and the others looked at each other, and their frowning brows began to stretch. Humph! This danshan is simply a waste. It seems that we have overestimated this devil. Devil Ling Tian, stop pretending. With your current danshan, you can't even draw out a trace of spiritual power. That's right. With this kind of cultivation, I'm afraid even the people who sweep the floor outside King Suanmen can't beat me, let alone us. The big devil who used to be all-powerful is now a waste. It's ridiculous. Haha. It's giggling, it's annoying, or not? Are you not fighting? Ling Tian drank indifferently, his imposing manner was overwhelming. Li Yuntian and the others were stunned for a moment, and then laughed contemptuously. Fight? You're a waste person who still wants to fight? Since you are so eager to court death, let me, the Kang Yun faction, be the first to send you on your way. As soon as the words fell, Li Yuntian's figure flashed, and he flew over like a goshawk. Aggressive, surging spiritual power, and the waves of wind and wind around him are rolling. The first release of this book is from 17K Novel Network, so watch the genuine content for the first time. Call. A violent hurricane swept in. The spiritual energy at the foot of the mountain of unrequited love quickly gathered towards Li Yuntian. The surrounding space seemed to be torn and twisted. Strong waves of gangster wind continued to explode with Li Yuntian as the center, making people feel like they were being stripped away. At this moment, the disciples of the various sects present only felt their chi and blood tumbling, their mind and body tormented, and even the spiritual power of their Danshan could not be brought together. Those with weaker cultivation vomited blood on the spot and passed out. The faces of the sect masters of the various sects were shocked, and even they who had reached the realm of Emperor Wu were confused by Li Yuntian's move. They hurriedly raised their qi to protect their bodies to resist the shocking waves of wind. At this moment, Li Yuntian was already approaching Ling Tian, and he saw his right hand slashing forward. The color of the world changed, the hurricane erupted, and an arc-shaped spiritual power that shattered the ground appeared out of nowhere, and then rushed towards Ling Tian. Seeing this, Nai Feng, the sect master of Qingxian sect, secretly cried out in his heart. Immediately shout out. Go back! The disciples of the various sects present were like deserters, rolling and crawling out of the distance. Even their sect masters retreated to 50 feet away again and again. Kangyun sword. This is definitely the last move in the Kangyun sect's highest stunt, the Kangyun sword. The sect masters of the various sects were stunned on the spot, and even more fearful in their hearts. After all, the reason why this Kangyun sect has been able to overwhelm all sects and become the leader of the group is because of the Kangyun Ju's last move, the Kangyun sword. It is said that even the most prestigious 365th generation head of the Kangyun sect, Yuan Tian Gang, has not fully grasped this move. Right now, Li Yuntian not only understood this last trick so thoroughly, but even the power he displayed was unparalleled by all the heads of the Kangyun sect in the past. But Ling Tian didn't change his face, so calm that people thought he had given up resistance. Devil Ling Tian, once this sword is drawn, even if you kneel in front of me and beg for mercy, it will be too late. Die! Li Yuntian had a wicked smile on his face, a conceited look that was invincible in the world. Within a few breaths, the surging arc-shaped spiritual power had already rushed in front of Ling Tian. The hurricane was violent, the air was surging, the wind and clouds were changing, and the heaven and the earth were trembling. One after another huge cracks and ravines collapsed and extended, just like the end of the world. Boom! With a low and muffled sound, Li Yuntian's face was overjoyed, and even the other sect masters laughed proudly. The Kangyun sword of the head of Li, even if it is Emperor Wu's great perfection realm, would not dare to take it. He is exhausted and weak in Ling Tian, how can he escape? Humph! Today he will surely die. At this moment, when the arc-shaped spiritual power was only one palm wide away from Ling Tian, the arc-shaped spiritual power actually stopped. Then, like a weathered rock, it turned into a grain of dust and flew away. What? Ling Tian is actually fine. Quiet. Deathly quiet. At this moment, the sect masters of the various sects were simply shocked by this scene. Li Yuntian's original conceited appearance disappeared, and he was even shocked to the point of petrification, motionless. Kangyun sword. If that's the case, then this seat will show you what the real Kangyun sword is. Ling Tian looked at Li Yuntian coldly, with the thought, the absolute counterattack card in the item column disappeared instantly. Boom! Ling Tian's depleted Qi Danshan was instantly filled with a burst of Qi like an explosion. Afterwards, strong waves of turbulent wind exploded around with Ling Tian as the center. Boom! The powerful air wave released, instantly overturned Li Yuntian in front of him to the ground, and a mouthful of blood spurted out immediately. Even the originally cracked ground shattered into at this moment. How is this possible? What the did you do? Li Yuntian's face was extremely ugly when he recovered. He stared at Ling Tian in front of him, and his heart was filled with endless fear. Well, what the is going on here? How could this devil have such a powerful spiritual power? It's impossible. How on earth did he do it? Could it be true, as the rumors say, does he really have a way to turn things around? Fright, fear, remorse. A series of complex emotions surged from the bottom of everyone's heart. Originally, Ling Tian blocked Li Yuntian's Kangyun sword enough to shock them unbelievably. Now, Ling Tian suddenly burst out with such a powerful force, which made them even more shocked. Looking at Ling Tian with grey hair in front of them, they felt like ants. At the moment of life and death, even the heartbeat and breathing seemed to be in Ling Tian's hands. As long as he moved his fingers slightly, everyone present would be wiped out in an instant. How to do? What should I do now? What time is coming? Why is the cultivation base plummeting? Maybe this devil's cultivation base is at its peak at the moment. If I knew earlier, don't listen to Li Yuntian's slander. After today, I'm afraid there will be no more King Xuanmen in this world. Hearing the words of Naifeng, the head of King Xuanmen, Chang Fenji, head of Xuanyu sect, Jian Feishan, head of Tianjiang Pavilion. They all felt extremely remorse. After all, according to Ling Tian's temperament, once he made a move, not to mention that the people from all sects on the scene would disappear in an instant. Even if the tens of thousands of troops from the Zhongzhou countries came, you would suffer heavy losses on the spot. However, at this time, everyone saw Ling Tian jumping up, his figure like a dragon breaking through the sea, soaring into the sky. Invisible coercion fell on every corner of heaven and earth like bright sunshine. The spiritual power is monstrous, and the sky is broken. No one can escape, no one can escape. Not to mention that those sect disciples couldn't bear it, they vomited blood and cried all over the place. Even the sect masters of the various sects tried their best to resist this powerful airwave and coercion, but they were shocked by the blood and vomited blood. Kang Yun's sword. What did I do? In front of him, what qualifications do I have to shoot? Why should I shoot? I was wrong. I was really wrong. After Li Yuntian saw Ling Tian unleash the Kang Yun sword, the remorse in his heart was so great that he wanted to kill himself with a sword. It's over. We're completely over. Jian Feishan, the master of Tianjiang Pavilion, wanted to cry without tears at this moment, and his heart was broken with remorse. I shouldn't have listened to sect leader Li's slander, and I want to share the secrets of the treasures on this unforgettable mountain. I'm really too self-sufficient. Naifeng, the sect master of Qingxian sect, was so remorseful that he spat out a big mouthful of hard work on the spot. Hey! There's no going back, and you can't kill him. What's the best thing to do now? What's the good thing? Hey! Xuanyu sect's sect master Chang Fenji was so sorry that he almost burst into tears. The sect masters of other sects also wailed. Because they had never seen Kang Yun's sword that was so earth-shattering. If it is said that Li Yuntian's sword of the blue cloud can overwhelm the heroes and collapse the mountains and the sea, then the sword of Ling Tian demon is simply the realm of opening up the world, the gods block the gods, and the Buddha blocks the. In this way, people and swords are unified, and the sword of Kang Yun, who has a soul and a spirit, even if a master of the martial immortal great perfection realm comes, he would not dare to take this sword. Martial immortal great perfection. This devil has already reached the highest realm of cultivation, the great perfection realm of martial immortal. How can you fight this? Even if 10 martial emperors are in the great perfection, they can't beat a person of the great perfection of the martial god, let alone the great perfection of the martial immortal. This is simply too strong a foul. At this point, everyone was despairing to the point of falling into an ice cave. At this moment, it was like falling into the 18th floor of purgatory and never seeing the sun again. However, after a few breaths, Ling Tian waved his sword finger forward, and a spiritual force that shattered the sky and ground rushed straight away. In the face of absolute power, Li Yuntian was already frightened, and he was sweating coldly. Putong knelt on the ground, where there is still the majesty of the head of the faction. Don't kill me! Please don't kill me! As long as you let me live, my Kang Yun sect will never step into this unforgiving mountain again. Please, Senior. Late. Boom. The earth shattered and trembled, and the spiritual power fell directly on Li Yuntian like a majestic Mount Tai. Without waiting for Li Yuntian to snort, he immediately disappeared between heaven and earth, not even the scum left. The head of a sect is so greedy for life and fear of death, servile and servile. No wonder he can't comprehend the essence of the Kang Yunju written by this section. What? Kang Yunju was actually written by this devil. This is a high-level cultivation technique of heaven? How is this possible? No wonder sect leader Li disappeared in an instant. At this moment, Ling Tian came flying from a distance. Then he landed next to Naifeng, the sect master of Qingxian sect. Naifeng, the sect master of Qingxian sect, immediately slumped on the ground, his heart splitting with fear. It felt like he was about to suffocate and die in the next second. What sect are you? Ling Tian glanced at Naifeng, and then looked at the other sect masters. This look made them collapse on the spot. Mother! My mother! If you give me another chance, I won't make such a decision if you kill me. I will wait. Wait until the devil himself is completely dead, and the body is decomposed, and then go up to the mountain of unrequited love to slash him twice, and scold him twice, as a shame. Today, I can only wait like the head of Li and vanish into thin air. At this moment, everyone's hearts were filled with remorse. His face was already pale with fright, like a corpse. Seeing Ling Tian raise his hand, everyone looked up to the sky and wailed. God's sins can be forgiven, but one's own sins can't live. We were all wrong. We were all deceived by this devil. If I can start all over again, I will definitely not set foot on the mountain of jealousy. I won't even think of the rare treasures of the mountain of jealousy. Roll! Ling Tian shouted angrily, and a strong spiritual energy instantly erupted from his body. Everyone was stunned and looked at each other in dismay. Immediately he got up quickly, like a bereaved dog leading the disciples of various sects to leave in a hurry. The appearance of running away is simply embarrassing. Looking at the famous door that disappeared in a flash, Ling Tian couldn't help wiping the sweat from his forehead. Phew! The time is just right. Seeing that the use time of the absolute counterattack card was completely reduced to 0, Ling Tian's Qi Si Danshan instantly returned to its original state, depleted and shriveled, and lifeless. Ding! Kill Li Yuntian, a foreigner who harbors evil intentions, clear the door for the Kang Yun sect, and clear the obstacles for the famous sect. The reward is 200 points. Ding! Detected that the host showed mercy to the famous men in the right way, and did not kill innocent people indiscriminately. The reward exchange point is 100 points. Ding! Trigger the main quest, clear the portal and revive the glory, 0/9. If you don't teach it, the father is wrong. If the teaching is not strict, the teacher is lazy. A teacher for one day is a father for a lifetime. Those who have a heart that can be punished, who set up their own portal to ruin the reputation of the Xianming sect will be killed without mercy. Reminder, you don't have much lifespan left. Please work hard to earn exchange points to increase your lifespan. Hearing the sound of the system, Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. Ling Tian did not have any abnormality. After all, he is someone who has seriously studied the system manual. The absolute domain system is mainly divided into 3 parts. The first piece is the control of the absolute realm that I mentioned earlier. However, the range needs to be exchanged. The second block is the exchange mall, lottery, props, and other functional sections, which also require exchange points. The third and most important one. The acquisition of exchange points is mainly obtained through system tasks. But the setting of this system task is very strange. It even required Ling Tian, who is the ancestor of the demon Dao, not to commit murder or evil, nor to kill innocent people indiscriminately, but to do more good deeds and accumulate merit. On the contrary, there must be punishment. In fact, by recalling the life of Ling Tian, the ancestor of demon Dao, Ling Tian fully understood that the original intention of his establishment of the Xianming sect was not to dominate the world, but to teach martial Dao. But now he challenged life and death before, killing too many peerless masters of various sects, so they framed them in revenge. Over time, the Xianming sect has been unknowingly rejected and isolated, and has even been pushed into the path of evil by various sects again and again. Among them, the aliens have made great efforts on this. Thinking of this, Ling Tian hurriedly opened the system interface. Name, Ling Tian race, human lifespan, 7 hours and 25 minutes, you can purchase a life extension card to continue life, status, leader of Xianming sect, patriarch of demon Dao cultivation, martial god great perfection realm absolute field range, 10 centimeters, with itself as the center of the circle to the surrounding area without dead angle coverage, redemption points, 300 points items, a life-sustaining card, yellow special grade. The first release of this book is from 17K Novel Network, so watch the genuine content for the first time. Seeing how little lifetime was left, Ling Tian hurriedly used the life extension card without hesitation. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully using the Huangpin Premium Life Extension card, which increases the lifespan by 15 days. 15 days. Ling Tian almost spit out a mouthful of blood on the spot. I thought that the item cards rewarded by this system would be as powerful as the absolute counterattack cards. Who knows, it's really a slap in the face. What can I do with this 15 day lifespan? Ling Tian shook his head helplessly. It's better than having only 7 hours of life left. After comforting himself, Ling Tian was going to visit the exchange mall to see what goodies there were. When he opened it, Ling Tian's jaw almost dropped. I saw panacea, secrets and exercises, weapons and equipment, mounts, treasures, props cards, everything. It's really only you who can't think of it, there is nothing that this exchange mall does not have. Ling Tian clicked his tongue and sighed. He knows that the most important thing for him now is to increase the lifespan, the second is to prepare some offensive items such as absolute counterattack cards, and the last is to improve the scope of the absolute field. After all, the range of this absolute field in the early stage is 10 centimeters only enough for self-protection. Who fights face to face with you, do you think you are dancing tango? Open the prop card window, and see all kinds of prop cards in front of you. And the item card for life extension is in the first place. Ling Tian opened the door and looked inside. I saw that the item cards were listed according to the 4 grades of Tiandi Xian Huang. Under the 4 grades, there are also 4 grades, Junior High School, High Special Grade. Ling Tian knew this in his heart, but he didn't know the exact price. Just click on the Huangpin Premium Renewal card, and see that the price in the lower right corner actually requires 400 exchange points. This almost didn't make Ling Tian angry on the spot. The mere Huangpin Premium Life Renewal card also increased the duration by 15 days, and even sold for 400 exchange points. Even the yellow grade Basic Life Renewal card, which can only add 5 hours, requires 100 exchange points. This is simply a fool. Is there such a thing as forcing people to death? It's better to buy a lottery than you. Ling Tian had to curse, and at this moment, the system prompt sounded. Ding! Every time the system draws 50 points, the lucky value increases by 1 point. If the accumulated lucky value reaches 10 or its multiples, you will get a mysterious gift pack. A lottery draw. Pump! Pump me to death. Ling Tian didn't care. After all, spending 300 redemption points can only buy 1 yellow grade high-level life extension card, and the life extension time is only 10 days, which adds up to 25 days, less than a month. Not worth it. Now, let's fight your luck, maybe you can really draw any good treasures. Ding! The lottery starts. The result of this lottery, thank you for your patronage. Accumulated 1 lucky point. Do you want to continue? Continue. Ding! The lottery starts. The result of this lottery, thank you for your patronage. Accumulated lucky value of 2 points, do you want to continue? Continue. Ding! The lottery starts. The result of the lottery, thank you for your patronage. Accumulated 3 lucky points. Do you want to continue? Ling Tian's face was as black as charcoal. This time, there is number 150 exchange points, and as a result, I didn't get one. It's too far behind, isn't it? I don't believe it anymore. Continue. Ding, the lottery starts. The results of this lottery draw: a ground-grade primary level life extension card, a yellow-grade high-grade absolute counterattack card, a Suanpin intermediate-grade resident face card. Accumulated lucky value of 4 points. Do you want to continue? Hearing the result of the lottery, Ling Tian almost didn't laugh out loud. Middle profound grade, primary grade earth grade, and the worst is high grade yellow grade. How many exchange points do you need to spend to exchange this? I earned it. This wave has made a lot of money. Ling Tian smiled and looked at the 3 cards on the item bar. His eyes stayed on the Suanpin middle-level beauty card. Mysterious grade mid-level face remaining card, the function is reversed, which can make the host's body function and appearance younger by 30 years. 30 years younger. Use. Ling Tian did not hesitate. After all, he has been supporting this almost wood-like body, and it is really difficult to even walk. With the disappearance of the middle-level Suanpin Yanyan card, Ling Tian immediately felt that there was a huge energy gathering around him. Immediately it poured into his body. In just 5 minutes, Ling Tian felt that his muscles were stronger than before, and his body was much lighter. The original heavy tiredness has disappeared a lot, and in exchange is a refreshing and thorough. The loose skin has also become compact. The slow movement is much more agile than before. Even the white hair on his head began to change a little. Feeling such a miraculous change in himself, Ling Tian was really overjoyed. In this way, I can still become young and handsome in the future. More importantly, his Danshan Qi Si will be able to rejuvenate. At that time, can't I recultivation? Thinking of this, Ling Tian felt extremely happy in his heart. However, at this moment, several figures quickly ran towards the foot of Jiking Mountain. Where to escape? As soon as the voice fell, a middle-aged man in a black robe jumped up, his figure flashed, and he rushed towards the woman in front of him at high speed. When the woman saw this, her heart tightened, and she hurriedly turned sideways to avoid it. Immediately, the long sword in his hand stabbed out like lightning. Tips for carving insects. The middle-aged man turned to his side, and the long knife in his hand quickly slashed out. Clang! The woman was kicked out by the man with a knife. The right hand holding the sword trembled violently. If it is not for a certain cultivation base, I am afraid that the long sword in his hand has already fallen out of his hand. Martial Soul Great Perfection Realm. Ling Tian saw the middle-aged man's cultivation at a glance. Although he is now a mortal and cannot cultivate, it does not mean that he cannot judge the cultivation of others. And from memory, I know that in this vast land of Zhongzhou, martial arts are respected, and there are 10 levels of martial arts along the way. From low to high, the order is Warrior, 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 Wuhun, Wuvong, Wuzun, Wushan, Wudi, Wushan, Wuxian. And each level has 5 realms. From low to high are early stage, middle stage, late stage, peak, Dzogchen. This middle-aged man is still a little short of being able to break through and enter the early stage of King Wu, and his background is naturally stronger than that of women. After all, after entering the realm, the length of the training time, the type of the secret manual, the grade of the weapon and equipment, and even the absorption and condensation of the spiritual energy of heaven and earth will greatly affect the actual cultivation of the practitioner. Therefore, even if the woman is also in the great perfection realm of martial soul, she will always be no match for this middle-aged man. However, at this moment, the woman had already fled behind Ling Tian regardless. The middle-aged man and his 2 disciples had also come to Ling Tian. See the posture, murderess! Senior, please save me! In the woman's panic, a pair of jade hands tightly grabbed the corner of Ling Tian's clothes. Ling Tian turned his head to look. I saw that this woman was wearing a tight purple robe, with a graceful figure, fair skin, and a delicate face, which really had a fresh and refined aesthetic feeling. At first glance, it really feels like a hibiscus out of water, which makes people unable to take their eyes off. Time passed by, and the three people in front of them looked at Ling Tian motionless for a long time, with embarrassed expressions on their faces. After all, no one knew that this unforgettable mountain was the domain of Ling Tian, the ancestor of the demon Dao. And no one knows the notoriety of this great demon Ling Tian for hundreds of years. Although the news of Ling Tian's imminent deadline had already spread all over the world, what he saw today, the middle-aged man did not feel that Ling Tian's spirit and energy had reached the point where he was about to die. As a result, if you make a rash move, I am afraid that the situation will be unfavorable for you. So, be cautious. Immediately, the middle-aged man saluted. Forgive this junior's boldness, and dare to ask if the senior is the master of the Mountain of Heartlessness, the leader of the Xianming sect, Senior Ling. Hearing the middle-aged man speak, the two disciples behind him suddenly looked surprised. Even the woman was shocked and her expression stiffened. Ling Tian, the leader of the Xianming sect. What a powerful man this is! Don't say that he can make everyone present disappear with a single finger, and even a random release of coercion can shock everyone to the ground, unable to fight back. However, such a powerful and notorious existence is standing just 3 steps away from him? These little hearts, as well as the qi and blood all over their bodies, have long been like the sea under a hurricane and torrential rain, and they can't stop for a moment. Even Panting was extremely cautious, for fear that Ling Tian would be killed on the spot if he took a breath. At this moment, the woman was extremely annoyed. If she had known early on that the old senior in front of her was the great devil Ling Tian, she would not have dared to ask him for help even if she was stabbed to death by the middle-aged man Wang Jian. He wouldn't even tug at the corners of his clothes. But now, it's all over. Originally, it was possible to die with a whole body, but now I am afraid that even the scum is not left. Master, I'm a little dizzy. Me too. I still feel very cold. Middle-aged man. Seeing his disciple who was overwhelmed and trembling, the middle-aged man was trembling with fear. Especially at this moment, Ling Tian had no intention of responding to his question at all. How should this be done? Could it be possible to release this woman like this? The middle-aged man thought to himself. Ling Tian's face was as calm as ice. After all, he didn't want to get involved in this from the beginning. Because in his current mortal state, it can be said that it is really bad. To put it nicely, he has the ability to protect himself. But the absolute range of 10 centimeters is not enough to make people feel at ease. If you encounter a slightly stronger cultivator, especially those unpredictable masters who make surprise attacks, sneak attacks, or even multiple attacks, one of them will not react in time, or if he is not careful, the person who will die must be himself. Therefore, in the absence of a self-defense tool like the Tinpin Absolute Counterattack card, Ling Tian felt that it was better to do more than one less thing. Just as I was about to leave quietly. Ding! Trigger the side quest, saving a life is better than building a 7-level stupa, and the host of the unfeeling mountain will never allow others to act recklessly. This woman will definitely be rescued and accumulate merit for the future. Puff! Ling Tian almost vomited out a mouthful of blood. I'm planning to leave now, but the system actually did this for me. What a fool! Although he was reluctant in his heart, Ling Tian's expression was still as calm as a mirror. Senior Ling, it's true that the junior is wrong today, please forgive me. The middle-aged man immediately knelt down and saluted. His disciple was already unsteady, so he just threw himself on the ground and fell to his knees. Although the middle-aged man behaves like this, it is only superficial. Deep down in his heart, he did not have the slightest respect for Ling Tian. Reading www.uuganju Calm is just afraid of Ling Tian's powerful strength. Because this woman not only waited for the opportunity to take revenge to kill countless ghost followers of me, but also stole the secret medicine from my teaching and destroyed many precious treasures, so she chased her all the way to this point. She inadvertently broke into the mountain of unrequited love and disturbed the seniors. I also asked the seniors to forgive me. The middle-aged man opened his mouth to test again, and even took the initiative to reveal his identity. He had already calculated in his heart that even if the big devil Ling Tian did not give them face, he would give face to the leader of the ghost sect. After all, they are born from the same root, so why is it too urgent to fry each other? What's more, the leader of the ghost sect is one of the 9 guardians of the Xianming sect in the past. He has contributed a lot to the Xianming sect, and he is the most savvy and powerful among the 9 disciples of the great demon lord Ling Tian. Ghost religion. How could Ling Tian not know about this teaching? This is exactly what his 3 apprentices, Lin Muxuan, led the split Xianming sect to create after he betrayed him. Every time I think of everything he did and every word he said when he betrayed, it was really bloody, every sentence was punishing. Ghost religion, Lin Muxuan. Ling Tian's anger came from his heart, his originally calm face was instantly tense, and his cold eyes narrowed slightly. Hearing Ling Tian say the name of the leader, the middle-aged man felt a burst of joy in his heart. I just feel that my decision is really wise. This time, even if the woman was taken away in person, this great demon Ling Tian couldn't do anything to himself. After all, the current cultivation of the leader Lin Muxuan is not something that those who are approaching his time can resist. Therefore, in order to survive, this great demon Ling Tian will not offend the ghost religion for this unknown woman. Just as the middle-aged man felt at ease, a cold light streaked out in front of Ling Tian. Immediately stabbed towards the disciple beside the middle-aged man. The first release of this book is from 17K Novel Network, so watch the genuine content for the first time. Pfft! The cold light swept away, a column of blood spurted, and the cold light disappeared directly into the disciple's eyebrows. As for that disciple, aside from being killed on the spot, he didn't even know how he died. Ding! Kill those who attempt to offend the jealous mountain domain, and the reward will be exchanged for 50 points. Ling Tian ignored it and stabbed the other disciple of the middle-aged man with the long sword in his hand again. What? Seeing this, the middle-aged man quickly got up, then pulled his disciple backwards and then exited. The incident happened suddenly, not to mention that the woman and the remaining disciples did not expect it to be like this. Even the middle-aged man didn't expect that the devil Ling Tian would take action for this unknown woman. This is obviously to be the enemy of the ghost religion. Looking at the 2 people who were dodging away, Ling Tian's face remained calm, but he felt a great pity in his heart. As long as you go up a little faster, you can stab that guy to death. What a pity! It's a pity that the shriveled and depleted Danshan simply doesn't allow him to go anywhere quickly. After all, he who has become immortal is an ordinary person. Coupled with this osteoporosis, the weak body can kill a disciple who has entered the middle stage of the military commander, and it is because of his unexpected strategy that succeeds. Senior Ling, why are you doing this? Is this woman worth what you do? The middle-aged man frowned, his face extremely ugly. Immediately, he thought quickly in his heart. The mind of this devil is really unpredictable. I didn't notice any aura fluctuations in him just now, not even killing intent. Why did it suddenly start? However, he did not attack himself, but his own disciple. Is this a warning to me? When can you be so presumptuous in front of this seat? Not to mention your sect leader Lin Muxuan, even if the King of Heaven is here, how dare you question this seat like this? Ling Tian snorted coldly, and the long sword in his hand stabbed into the ground in front of him. Although it is only with the strength of the body to insert the long sword into the ground. However, the temperament of demon Ling Tian did not change at all. Cold and arrogant. Domineering. The middle-aged man's heart was also shocked, not to mention the disciple who was almost stabbed to death by Ling Tian's sword. And that woman, at this moment, is still kneeling on the ground and shivering. Senior Ling, this junior has already apologized for the interruption. I don't want to have any conflict with the senior today. I just want to take this woman away, so please don't embarrass the junior. When the middle-aged man spoke, there was a slight dissatisfaction in his tone. Humph! Ridiculous! What qualifications do you have to make this seat embarrassed for a martial artist? Today, this seat warns you that if you want this person, then let your ghost sect leader Lin Mixuan come over in person. Get out! This immortal, dare to let me go? He also said that I am a martial artist, and I am not qualified? Humph! The middle-aged man was instantly furious. Even the disciple and the woman beside him were even more shocked. After all, Ji Longchuan is still one step away from breaking through the great perfection of martial soul and entering the initial stage of the martial king. This kind of cultivation realm, looking at the entire martial arts, is also ranked. And a martial artist is just a cultivator who has just stepped into the martial artist realm, and at most has reached the early martial artist realm. Besides, in the entire martial arts world, who doesn't know the name of Ji Longchuan, the head of the ghost sect's Yalan Hall? Senior Ling, I think you are the master of my ghost sect leader, and also the ancestor of our demonic way, so I am polite to you. But don't think that I am afraid of you. Ji Longchuan became indifferent, and his words were full of anger. Humph! Did the fox finally show its tail? This seat gives you one last chance. Bring your disciples and get out of here. Otherwise, die. Hearing Ling Tian's words, Ji Longchuan smiled and laughed arrogantly. Because Ji Longchuan had already analyzed it before, he believed that Ling Tian's current cultivation was absolutely the same as what he had received in the information not long ago. After all, from the time they met to the shot, to now, Ling Tian never showed any powerful spiritual energy fluctuations and coercion from beginning to end. Not even the Qi Hai Danshan was angry at all. Even if he was hiding his strength, he wouldn't hide it so deadly and without waves. Moreover, Ling Tian's current behavior and temperament are completely different from the previous behavior of killing people if they didn't agree with each other. This shows that he has concerns. The main reason for this concern is that his cultivation realm has already fallen to the early stage of military commanders, or even worse. It is clear at a glance who is a martial artist. Ling Tian. Don't think I don't know your current cultivation realm. I advise you to stop pretending. Be good, give me someone. Otherwise, don't blame me for killing you today. Ji Longchuan warned sharply. The name of this seat is also something you can call. If you want to kill this seat, then let the horse come over. Ling Tian still had an indifferent expression, but his words were full of anger. Humph! Then it's my fault. What? Ji Longchuan let out a low drink, and his figure suddenly rushed from a distance. Seeing that it was approaching Ling Tian, the long sword in his hand was unsheathed. A cold light slanted through the void, the surrounding air surged violently like a gust of wind, and a low rumbling sound rolled like a muffled thunder. The long sword was unsheathed, and the wind roared and thundered. This is the heaven-grade high-level swordsmanship that dominates the world with speed, accuracy, and ruthlessness, the blue wind thunder swordsmanship. And the reason why Ji Longchuan was able to rank on this martial arts strength list, this sword technique played an extremely crucial role. After all, people of martial arts, in the same realm, the better the rank of the cultivation method, the stronger the strength. If there is a high-grade weapon to match, it will definitely be able to exert the power of the exercise to the fullest. Senior Ling, be careful. The woman was shocked and immediately shouted loudly. After all, when she faced off against Ji Longchuan, she had suffered from the blue wind thunder sword technique. If it wasn't for the basics of his own cultivation, he would have already become a ghost under the sword of Ji Longchuan. Therefore, in the face of such a sharp and domineering world's #1 swordsmanship, the woman was deeply afraid that Ling Tian's body would not be able to resist at all. The long knife galloped, the wind and thunder were stronger than before, and a powerful force lingered around the long knife and vibrated violently. There is even a soul-stirring feeling. Humph! The mere martial master's cultivation in the great perfection realm is still reloaded. Now let's see how you can resist my blue wind thunder blade technique. If I kill this peerless great devil with one sword, it will not only boost my reputation, but also clear a big obstacle for the sect master. At that time, I will no longer be a hall master. Ji Longchuan thought to himself. Thinking that he was about to gain both fame and fortune, his face was already showing joy. Even secretly added 2 layers of skill to the long knife, for fear that this knife would not kill Ling Tian. Boom! A dull sound broke out, and Ji Longchuan couldn't help grinning any longer. At this moment, the long knife in his hand slashed with extreme speed and domineering. The target was Ling Tian's neck. However, just when Ji Longquan's sharp long knife was 10 centimeters away from Ling Tian's neck, it suddenly stopped. At this moment, the wind suddenly stopped and the thunder disappeared. The original wind roared and thundered, and the domineering momentum suddenly disappeared, as if it had never appeared before. What's the matter? Ji Longchuan was stunned on the spot, and then tried his best to infuse his spiritual power. But the long knife is like an iron barrel that has been stuck to the bottom, and it is impossible to advance half an inch. Broke in. Just when Ji Longchuan and the others were shocked, Ling Tian whispered. The long knife that stopped 10 centimeters shattered instantly with a bang. Ji Longquan's face changed greatly, and the hand holding the knife was shaking. Both his disciple and the woman froze in place with their mouths open. He didn't move for a long time as if he was petrified. "Oh, how is this possible?" Ji Longchuan cried out in shock, his face extremely ugly. "What's impossible? Not to mention this heavenly grade high-level blue wind thunder saber technique, it is all the heavenly grade extra grade techniques in this world, and it is nothing but a sleight of hand in front of me." Ling Tian flicked his sleeves, and a murderous intent flashed in his eyes. Ji Longchuan glared abruptly, turning around and running away. Unexpectedly, Ling Tian opened his mouth immediately. "If you dare to escape without a breath, this seat will let you be wiped out." When Ji Longchuan heard this, his liver and gallbladder were split. He knelt on the ground with a puff, and felt extremely remorse. He never thought that Ling Tian could pretend so well. Not only did he completely hide his breath, but he even completely pretended to be an ordinary old man who was dying. Ji Longchuan really understood at this moment. Why is it rumored that the Ling Tian deadline is approaching, but his sect leader is always indifferent? Everyone in the sect thinks that the sect leader is overthinking, and they are afraid that the devil will pretend to be. Today, he knew he was wrong. Still a terribly wrong situation. And this step is wrong, and it is actually the price of life. Ling Tian looked at Ji Longchuan with the same expression on his face. It's just that the 3 people present are no longer what they used to be. Especially that Ji Longchuan is now ashes. The ghost sect was created by Lin Mixuan, the 3rd disciple of this sect. In this sect, the elders, the guardians, the hall masters and even the stragglers, and the messengers are all from this sect. Today, you have no respect for your elders. Incorrect mental skills, human-faced and beast-like heart, wanting to kill this seat to make a name for thousands of people, this is the 2nd crime. Bullying the weak, doing a lot of evil, and wanting to slaughter this woman in front of this seat, this is the 3rd crime. 3 sins together, according to the canon, they should be cut with thousands of swords, and the belly and the heart should be cut open. Geek! Ji Longquan's heart was broken, his face was as pale as a dead man, and he slammed his head against Ling Tian. The junior is wrong. The junior really knows it's wrong. Senior Ling, please be merciful and leave a whole corpse for the junior. Ling Tian was indifferent and speechless, and Ji Longchuan knew that there was no hope of keeping the whole corpse. If that's the case, don't blame the juniors. Ji Longkin's face was ferocious, and he suddenly lifted the knife in his hand. Dog jumping over the wall? Even so, Ling Tian did not back down. However, his eyes narrowed slightly again, and an unprecedented killing intent came out. Just as Ji Longkin's broken knife rose and fell, everyone present was stunned. I saw that he stabbed a knife on his heart, and the blood quickly dyed his body red, and even a pool of blood splattered on the ground. Senior Ling, please leave the whole body of this junior. Cough. Ji Longchuan gushed out blood. His eyes were full of hope. He hoped that Ling Tian would leave him a whole body at the end, just like he could still live in this world. Ling Tian saw that Ji Longchuan, who was about to die, was still holding on, waiting for the final answer. Ling Tian thought to himself, it was just a sentence. Yu reading www.yuuganshu.com. Since people are about to die, that's what you want. This seat agrees to your request. Thanks, before. Ji Longchuan finally raised his mouth slightly and closed his eyes. Ling Tian looked at Ji Longkin's disciple, whose face was bloodless and shivering with fright, and said, take him back. In addition, I have a message for your sect master, saying that I will find him eventually. Let him be honest with him. Take a seat. Otherwise, kill him. When the disciple heard the following 3 words, he was so frightened that he almost fainted on the spot. At this moment, a system prompt sounded in Ling Tian's mind. Ding! Kill the attempt to deceive the master and destroy the ancestors, and the following offenders will get 200 exchange points. Ding! See through the true intention of the perpetrator and get 100 exchange points. Ding! Complete the side quest, saving a life is better than building a 7th level pagoda, and get 1000 exchange points. Ding! Do one good deed every day, and achieve 3000 merits. It is detected that the host has left another person's life without destroying the body of another person, and will be rewarded with 500 exchange points. 1800 redemption points. Including the previous 150 points, a total of 1950 redemption points. I'm going, this wave is simply a profit. Ling Tian was so excited that he almost jumped up like a child. I was worried to death before, but now there are so many here at once, and Ling Tian is almost dying of beauty. Ling Tian glanced at the woman, and had nothing to say. He turned around and was about to leave. Unexpectedly, the woman stopped in front of Ling Tian and slammed her head in front of him. Senior, I am fortunate to have been rescued by Senior today, and Chen Shui is proud to save her life. Chen Shui has nothing to repay for this move by Senior. If Senior does not dislike it, please take Senior and Chen Shui. I will serve Seniors for the rest of my life, be a cow and a horse. The first release of this book is from 17K Novel Network, so watch the genuine content for the first time. Ling Tian's face was expressionless, and what he thought at this moment was to go back and find a place to have a good look at what treasures to exchange. Who knew that this woman would suddenly stop in front of her, saying that she would serve her all her life and be a cow and a horse? This is a bit of a bullshit. Ling Tian looked down at the woman kneeling in front of him. His voice was calm and cold, and said, do you know where this is? Who is this seat? Mu Qingxiu immediately replied, Qingxiu knows. This is the sanctuary of the demon Dao, the mountain of love, the place where the Xianming sect was founded. The senior is the leader of the Xianming sect, and the first-ranked demon Dao patriarch, Ling Tian. Senior Ling. Since you know where this place is and who this seat is, why do you dare to kneel and beg this seat to take you in? Aren't you afraid that this seat will turn your bones into ashes in a fit of anger? Ling Tian said sharply. Mu Qingxiu was shocked. But now that he has taken this step, Mu Qingxiu can only bite the bullet. Afraid. However, Qingxiu knew from a young age that the kindness of dripping water will definitely be repaid by the spring. What's more, Senior Ling saved Qingxiu's life, then Qingxiu's life belongs to Senior Ling. Therefore, I implore Senior Ling. Keep the dust and snow. Haha, extremely pedantic. Ling Tian raised his head and laughed loudly, looking down at Mu Jingxiu in front of him and thinking for a while before speaking again. You know it's not easy to serve this seat. If you are a little short, this seat will punish you severely. Do you have any objections? Jingxiu understands. Jingxiu dare not. Jingxiu will do her best to serve Senior. Mu Jingxiu kowtowed again. Okay. Let's start with today's meal. Ling Tian thought about it for a while. The mountain of jealousy was so big. Since hundreds of years ago, when the 9 disciples led the betrayal and separation of the Xianming sect, Ling Tian was the only one on the mountain of jealousy. Ling Tian felt extremely depressed when he lived alone for hundreds of years. Now that someone takes the initiative to send it to the door, let's accept it as a companion for the time being. There is still someone responsible for her own life, and she is such a beautiful girl. Ling Tian suddenly smiled happily. Very good. Very good. Mu Jingxiu followed Ling Tian up to the mountain of jealousy, and the Xianming sect was located on the top of the mountain. Although it does not have the splendor and prosperity of the past, it cannot hide the grandeur of its former glory. This is today's Xianming sect. The sanctuary of the devil's way in your mouth. It has long been a different person, and the vastness is desolate. Ling Tian said as he walked towards the hall. Mu Jingxiu followed behind, not daring to make a sound. After all, he had only just seen Ling Tian's means. Controlling the world with qi is something that can only be done by stepping into the realm of Wushang or above. And Ling Tian was able to control the space so close to his body. I am afraid that at least a martial emperor can do it. From martial saint to martial emperor, although there is only one level difference, it has completely crossed the gap of 5 realms. This gap in realm, let alone how insurmountable it is, it will take at least several decades to improve, which can only be accomplished by the elite among geniuses. Others spend their entire lives and stop there. This is the general situation of the entire main hall. As for the other side halls, you can go and see for yourself. Yes. Senior. Mu Jingxiu bowed respectfully. Okay. I'll go to rest for a while, and call me when the meal is ready. Ling Tian said and walked towards the secret room behind the main hall. Only Mu Jingxiu was left in a mess in the hall. Cook. It's not that Mu Jingxiu doesn't know how to cook, but that he doesn't know where the cooking is. Is there still green vegetables in this desolate place? Is there any meat? Maybe not even rice. People with cultivation like Ling Tian can survive without eating at all. As long as you absorb the aura of heaven and earth, the essence of the sun and the moon. Thinking of this, Mu Jingxiu had a headache. Even if she has the ability to make delicious food in the world, it is difficult for a clever woman to cook without rice. Furthermore, Ling Tian had said before that if he did not serve well, he would definitely punish himself severely. This is a terrifying monster. His severe punishment will definitely make life worse than death, right? Mu Jingxiu felt terrible when she thought about it. After Ling Tian entered the secret room, he couldn't wait to open his system interface. Name, Ling Tian. Race, human. Lifespan, 15 days, 6 hours and 25 minutes, you can purchase a life extension card to continue life. Status, leader of Xianming sect, patriarch of Demon Dao, number 1 in heaven. Cultivation, martial god. Great perfection. Realm absolute field range, 10 centimeters, with itself as the center of the circle to the surrounding area without dead angle coverage. Exchange point, 1950 points. Items, 1 life extension card, early grade, 1 absolute counterattack card, high grade. Yellow, main quest, clear the portal, restore the glory, 0/9, luck value, 4 points, if you reach 10 or its multiples, you will get a mysterious spree. Increasing the lifespan is the first priority, followed by offensive item cards, then the absolute domain range, and finally other items such as beauty cards. Ling Tian's central idea was still very clear, and he immediately entered the exchange mall, with the column of life extension cards. I used to look at the high-grade Huangpan, but the super high-grade Huangpan thought it was too expensive, but now it's a bit full. Ling Tian doesn't need to look at these useless life extension cards at all. Go straight to the beginner level of Suanpin. Suanpin first level life extension card, after use, can increase the host's lifespan by 30 days, and exchange points for 800 points. Puff! Ling Tian almost vomited blood when he saw the price. This rank has been raised a notch, and the price has doubled directly. Although the lifespan has also increased by 15 days, it is too pitiful. Ling Tian suddenly felt that the 1950 exchange points were not a large amount at all. In this way, buying 2 profound grade elementary life extension cards would almost be a waste. Accurate. Really upset. Ling Tian calculated it carefully. If you can exchange 1 profound grade elementary level, you can exchange it for 2 yellow grade extra life extension cards. The increased lifespan is also the same. The key is to spend the same points. In such a comparison, the Suanpin elementary life continuation card turned into a tasteless item card. OK. First, exchange 2 yellow grade premium life extension cards to continue life. Just exchange the remaining domain cards. Ling Tian made up his mind, and immediately spent 800 exchange points to exchange 2 yellow grade premium life extension cards. Originally, I wanted to exchange some offensive item cards for self-defense, but as soon as I opened it, Ling Tian was about to fight the system. What the hell? A shattered first-level absolute counterattack card costs 300 points in exchange. Other offensive item cards are also expensive. This is forcing me to increase the scope of the field. Thinking of this, Ling Tian could only browse through the item cards that increased the range of the field. With the previous lessons, Ling Tian knew that he was a pauper, and it was not good to be too ambitious, so he started directly from the most basic rank. Yellow grade elementary domain card, after use, increase the host's absolute domain range by 3 cm, and exchange points for 200 points. Yellow grade intermediate domain card, increase the host's absolute domain range by 5 cm after use, and exchange points for 300 points. Yellow grade high level domain card, after use, increase the host's absolute domain range by 8 cm, and exchange points for 500 points. Yellow grade premium domain card, increase the host's absolute domain range by 12 cm after use, and exchange points for 600 points. After reading the domain card, Ling Tian's face turned black. What a joke. Even if it's expensive, it's just a few centimeters more. How long will it take to control the world? But when you get angry, you still have to spend the money that should be spent. Looking at the remaining 1150 exchange points, Ling Tian gritted his teeth and stomped his feet, and spent 600 points to exchange for a yellow grade premium domain card. Immediately, Ling Tian used all the life extension cards and domain cards on the item bar in one breath. After a burst of energy gathering and surging, Ling Tian felt that his body had undergone a lot of changes. The system interface is then opened. Name, Ling Tian. Race, Human. Lifespan, 405 days, 5 hours and 54 minutes. You can purchase a life extension card to continue life. Status, Leader of Xianming Sect, Patriarch of Demon Dao, Number 1 in Heaven. Cultivation, Martial God. Great Perfection. Realm. Absolute Field Range, 22 cm, with itself as the center of the circle to the surrounding area without dead ends. Exchange points, 550 points. Props, 1 absolute counterattack card, yellow grade. Advanced, Main Quest, Clear the Portal, Restore the Glory, 0/9, Luck Value, 4 points. If you reach 10 or its multiples, you will get a mysterious spree. Seeing that after using the first level life extension card obtained by the lottery, his life expectancy increased by a year. Now Ling Tian doesn't have to worry so much about his death in 10 days and a half. It seems that the lottery is more reliable. I want to draw a lottery, Ling Tian said. Ding! The lottery starts. The result of this lottery, thank you for your patronage. Accumulated lucky value of 5 points, do you want to continue? Continue. Ding! The lottery starts. The result of this lottery, thank you for your patronage. Accumulated lucky value of 6 points, do you want to continue? Continue. Ding! The lottery starts. The result of this lottery, thank you for your patronage. The accumulated lucky value is 7 points, do you want to continue? Your uncles. Go on. Ding! The lottery starts. The result of this lottery, thank you for your patronage. The accumulated lucky value is 8 points, do you want to continue? I still don't believe it. Go on. Ding! The lottery starts. The result of this lottery, thank you for your patronage. Accumulated lucky value of 9 points, do you want to continue? I at %UN number, continue. Ding! The lottery starts. The result of the lottery, thank you for your patronage. Accumulated lucky value of 10 points, do you want to continue? Is there such a pit? I've been pumping for 6 consecutive times, what else do you want? Ling Tian was really angry. Seeing that the exchange point of 550 points instantly became 250 points, Ling Tian was even more angry. You're only 205. Continue to draw me. This time I won't believe it. Ding! The lottery starts. The results of this lottery draw: 1 profound grade elementary field card, 1 earth grade intermediate special effect card, the entire volume of the profound grade special exercise lotus dance diagram, the heaven grade high level absolute 1 counterattack card, accumulating 11 lucky points. Do you want to continue? Yes. Ling Tian clenched his fists with excitement, doing the cheering action that players often do when scoring goals in the World Cup. The 350 points exchanged for these 7 draws is really worth it. All of them are props cards above the profound grade. There is also a roll of the heaven grade special grade exercise. It's a huge profit. Ding! The lucky value of the lottery has accumulated to 10 points. Do you want to spend 10 lucky points to open a mysterious gift package? Ling Tian's eyes lit up at this moment, not to mention how happy he was. This is the rhythm of hilarity. Open. Ding! Consume 10 lucky points, and the system will open a mysterious gift pack. 5, 4, 1. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Eye of Judgment. The rivers and lakes are sinister and people are unpredictable. The Eye of Judgment can not only examine, distinguish, and monitor the loyalty of others to the host. Even when it is judged that others are unfaithful to the host can manipulate the Eye of Judgment to lower punishment. UU reading www.ukansha.com. This Eye of Judgment effect is permanent. Is it enabled now? Ling Tian couldn't help his tongue when he saw it. Such an awesome skill is simply terrifying. Not only can you see whether others are sincere to you, but you can also punish others when you find that the other party is not good for you. This is simply the same as the control power in the absolute field. It is awesome. Ling Tian thought about how powerful he was as a big devil. Turn on. Ding! The Eye of Judgment was successfully opened. Reminder: when the punishment is lowered, the other party must look directly into the eyes of the host for at least 3 seconds. The severity of the punishment is determined according to the loyalty of the target. Ling Tian suddenly couldn't wait to try the effect of this Eye of Judgment. Without further ado, after coming out of the secret room, he went to find Mu Jingxiu. Ling Tian searched all over the main hall and couldn't see Mu Jingxiu's figure, so she must stay close to her in the future. Just when he was wondering, a figure came quickly outside the main hall, holding 2 large plates of meat in his hands. The aroma was fragrant. Senior, the dishes are just ready. Senior can eat. Ling Tian's heart was full of joy, but the surface was as steady as a mountain, and his face was as cold as ice. Stand in the center of the main hall and look at the situation. In front of Mu Jingxiu, some information appeared. Mu Jingxiu, human race, martial soul, great perfection realm, suffering from internal injuries. Former disciple of Jingyu sect, master is sect master Ji Xiaomu, and now is the host's maid. He majored in Suanpin intermediate level Qinglian Heart Dharma front volume. Suanpin, the first volume of the high-level Qinglian swordsmanship, has reached the 7th level. The loyalty is 10%, and the unfaithful person is judged. Reminder, for those whose loyalty is lower than 80, it is recommended to use the eye of judgment to lower the punishment, in case of an accident. Do you want to lower the punishment? The first release of this book is from 17K Novel Network, so watch the genuine content for the first time. Ling Tian knew before that Mu Jingxiu approached him not to repay her kindness, but just to get close to the play she was playing. Loyalty is 10%, how low is this? It's not good to say it, such a person can turn around and stab you in the back. Ling Tian remained silent and picked up the meat dishes in front of him. The meat is fragrant and the color is fresh. Chew in the mouth, delicious and juicy but not greasy, it can be said to be full of color and flavor. Ling Tian really did not expect that these simple ingredients and seasonings would become so delicious under Mu Jingxiu's skillful hands. This was the first time Ling Tian had eaten such a delicious dish after hundreds of years. He was a little moved, and his eyes were a little wet. But how could Mu Jingxiu see such an expression? Ling Tian put down the bamboo chopsticks and closed his eyes. The expression on his face was still cold, but he was still thinking about it in his heart. The aftertaste of that home-like taste. At this moment, the system prompt sound suddenly sounded. Ding! Trigger the side quest, no gold is bare, no one is perfect. Uncover Mu Jingxiu's true intention to approach the host, and lead him to be kind. Reminder, the host can do everything possible to favor and improve Mu Jingxiu's loyalty to the host for his own use in the future. Ling Tian was stunned for a moment. This food can also be eaten as a side quest, which is really enough. However, well, more tasks will have more exchange points. At this moment, Mu Jingxiu saw Ling Tian's actions, but her heart was very tight, and she felt very uneasy. Done. This dish is definitely unpalatable. I didn't expect to be severely punished at the beginning, can I really stay? Senior, is the dish unpalatable? Jingxiu will go and make another one. Mu Jingxiu said nervously. Sit. Just when Mu Jingxiu was ready to be reprimanded and punished, Ling Tian asked her to sit down. This made her even more worried. However, who would dare not listen to the words of the big devil Ling Tian? Mu Jingxiu could only sit down obediently, but it was like sitting on pins and needles. Eat. Hearing this, Mu Jingxiu blinked, a little stunned. Is this asking me to eat it myself to see how hard it is to eat? I tried it before and thought it could be served. How is this going to be good for me? Can't I feed you myself? Eat. Ling Tian's tone was flat and calm, but every word carried the domineering aura that a big devil should have. When Mu Jingxiu heard this, her delicate body was shocked, and she almost fell from the chair to the ground. He immediately picked up the bamboo chopsticks and ate with trepidation. You, Ling Tian said again. Mu Jingxiu stood up in shock. Afterwards, Putong knelt on the ground, and the movements were done in one go without any delay. Senior, Chen Shui knows it's wrong. Chen Shui is willing to be punished. Mu Jingxiu knelt on the ground, bowing her head to the ground. When Ling Tian saw this, he was also stunned. But he could understand Mu Jingxiu's actions. It's like knowing you are going to die, but not knowing when you are going to die. That kind of torment is something that ordinary people can endure. After all, he used to be a big devil who would kill if he didn't agree with one word, and attack if he didn't like a word. How can you live without a strong desire to survive in front of such a person? Okay. Now that you know what's wrong, tell me what's wrong with you. Ling Tian followed the trend, but he wanted to see what kind of ghost Mu Jingxiu had in mind when he approached him. At this moment, Mu Jingxiu was stunned again. She never thought that Ling Tian would ask herself such a question. And from Ling Tian's tone, Mu Jingxiu could hear another meaning. He's testing me. Mu Jingxiu pondered in her heart. But she didn't dare to raise her head, so she didn't know what Ling Tian's expression looked like when he said this. Chen Shui's dishes are not well done, making it difficult for the seniors to swallow. Chen Shui knows that she is wrong. Chen Shui is willing to be punished. That's all? Mu Jingxiu. Ling Tian's voice became cold and hard. Mu Jingxiu was shocked. Could it be that he knew? Impossible, absolutely impossible. Jingxiu doesn't know, please ask senior to make it clear. Mu Jingxiu was already sweating at the moment. Okay. I will give you 2 tips, Jingyuemen, Qingliangzhen method. Ling Tian directly threw out the reminder message from the Eye of Judgment. When Mu Jingxiu heard this, the hands that were supporting the ground suddenly became weak, and her whole body slumped to the ground. Did he already know that? What can we do now? Mu Jingxiu was flustered in her heart, but she had no idea of running away. Or at least don't dare to think like this at all. After all, she witnessed how Ji Longchuan died. What? Didn't I remind you enough? Ling Tian snorted coldly and stood up immediately. Mu Jingxiu was so frightened that her heart almost stopped. At this moment, Ling Tian's words to Ji Longchuan kept echoing in her mind, if you dare to escape, if you don't take a breath, this seat will let you be wiped out. Mu Jingxiu propped herself up and hurriedly explained. Jingxiu doesn't dare. Jingxiu is guilty. Jingxiu's request to stay by the senior's side is indeed selfish. But Jingxiu swears to the sky that Jingxiu does not dare to have any second thoughts about the senior. Humph! How dare you have a second heart for this seat? Do you know how to write the dead word? Ling Tian was furious. Although his voice was a mortal voice, it made Mu Jingxiu feel uncomfortable. Almost out of breath. And Mu Jingxiu is also called an injustice. He had never said that he dared to have a second heart towards Ling Tian. But when it comes to Ling Tian's mouth, he is an unfaithful person with 2 hearts. Jingxiu knows that it is unforgivable to conceal the sin of senior. But please listen to Jingxiu's explanation. Mu Jingxiu immediately kowtowed several times, begging Ling Tian to give her a chance to explain. Forget it. You don't dare to make a mistake in front of this seat. This seat will listen to how you explain it. Ling Tian waved his sleeves and immediately sat on the chair. Mu Jingxiu was very grateful to hear this. Immediately he said, Chen Suiwen is the eldest disciple of Ji Xiaomu, the sect master of Jingyu sect, but a year ago, the sect master was injured by the ghost sect when he went out. After returning, he died of internal injuries within a few months. Ji Xiaomu, the head of Jingyuemen? Ling Tian had no impression of this person. However, I have some impressions of Jingyuemen. This is a sect like the Yimei sect, with all female disciples. It is said that the Jingyuemen was created by Chang Yunyan. However, the founding of Jingyuemen was because Chang Yunyan was hated by others, resentful in her heart, and wanted to kill all the sinners all over the world. However, after being baptized by rivers and lakes and passed down from generation to generation, the original intention of Jingyuemen is no longer such a shallow concept. It is a sect of righteousness established for women with ideals and aspirations in the world to support justice. Ling Tian still remembered that he had played against Miao Lingyan, the 38th generation sect master of Jingyu sect, but it was a pity that this person's realm was too low in Ling Tian's eyes, and he was defeated after only 1 move. That year, Ling Tian was 15 years old. It was also that year that he gave Miao Lingyan 2 Suanpin exercises, Qinglian heart method and Qinglian sword technique. However, Ling Tian also wrote the first volume at that time, and the second volume took a long time to complete. At this point, Ling Tian pulled his thoughts back. Continue to listen to Mu Jingxiu's explanation. Subsequently, the ghost religion and other branch sects have divided and occupied the Jingyuemen. Whether it is a person or a thing, even the Jingyuemin at this moment has become one of the many branches of the ghost religion. And this sect is exactly the Ji Longchuan, who had offended seniors before, was in charge. Ling Tian looked down at Mu Jingxiu with a pair of cold eyes. So far, what she said was the truth, and the eye of judgment did not produce any reminders. And Jingxiu was also controlled by him in the Jingyuemin, and forced Jingxiu to marry his son. Jingxiu also wanted to kill himself like other sisters and sisters. But thinking of the tragic death of the master, the sect was destroyed. I am unwilling, so I have to steal my life and bear the burden of humiliation. After a year of planning, I decided to end this feud today, but my skills are not as good as others. Speaking of which, Mu Jingxiu was already weeping. What she thought of at the moment was not only the tragic death of the master and sisters, but also the sadness and hate of her own inability to take revenge. So, you lead Ji Longchuan to the bottom of the mountain of jealousy, and use this seat to solve him. And set up a situation that this seat will save your life, so that this seat can keep you in the mountain of jealousy under the pretext of repayment. Is what this seat said? Is it true? Ling Tian said coldly. True. Mu Jingxiu nodded. She knew that from the very beginning, Ling Tian had seen through all her thoughts. It's just that she doesn't understand. She doesn't understand why Ling Tian didn't expose himself on the spot, but instead took her to the mountain of lovers. Okay. I'll ask you again. You sacrificed your life to serve this seat, in order to find the back volume of the Qinglian heart technique and the Qinglian sword technique? After you want to learn all of these mind techniques and sword techniques, go to find them. Chiu. This is the real purpose of your approach to this seat, right? Hearing Ling Tian's words, Mu Jingxiu's heart skipped a beat, as if glass had been shattered. Really nothing to say. She knew that Ling Tian was very thoughtful and not simple. But I didn't expect it to be so easy. The truth of the whole event can be completely deduced from just a little thing that is heard and seen in front of you. It seems that the reason why Ling Tian can become the most feared master of the demon Dao in this world is not only because of his invincible strength, but also because of his amazing wisdom. Mu Jingxiu had long since admired it. Senior, let's do it. Being able to die under the hands of Senior is really a blessing for Chen Shui's 3 lives. Mu Jingxiu closed her eyes tightly, ready to accept Ling Tian's one-shot kill. However, Mu Jingxiu was really unwilling to avenge Shui hate that he could not get his wish in this life, but today he can only die with hatred. Okay. Then this seat will punish you severely today. Ling Tian got up and came to Mu Jingxiu's side, placing his right hand on her head. From today, you, Mu Jingxiu, will be the first apprentice of this Millennium Day. From now on, you will be responsible for your daily life, travel, and affairs. Mu Jingxiu suddenly opened her eyes and looked at Ling Tian in disbelief, her whole body froze in place. What? Do you have any objection to this seat's decision? Ling Tian asked coldly. Chen Shui, don't dare. Wuhu Mu Jingxiu immediately hugged Ling Tian's right hand and burst into tears. Ding! Mu Jingxiu, human race, martial soul great perfection realm, suffering from internal injuries. The disciples of the Xianming sect, the master is the leader Ling Tian, and he is now the 10th apprentice of the host. He majored in Suanpin intermediate level Qinglian heart technique. Volume, the first volume of Suanpin advanced Qinglian swordsmanship, has reached the 7th level. Loyalty is 60%, and those who are unfaithful are judged. Reminder, for those whose loyalty is lower than 80, it is recommended to use the eye of judgment to lower the punishment, in case of an accident. Do you want to lower the punishment? Ding! Complete the side quest. People are not sages, no one can make mistakes. Knowing mistakes can improve a lot. Perfectly reveal Mu Jingxiu's true purpose of approaching himself, and get 1000 exchange points. Ding! It is detected that Mu Jingxiu's loyalty has increased from 10% to 60%, and the host will be rewarded with 500 exchange points. Ding! Complete the side quest, influence people's hearts, lead them to goodness, accept Mu Jingxiu as a disciple, and get 1000 exchange points. Hearing the beeps that kept ringing in his mind, Ling Tian went crazy with joy. If he could laugh wildly, Ling Tian would have laughed wildly long ago. But thinking about the majestic image of the big devil, plus Mu Jingxiu is still crying in the sky, and he is laughing wildly on the side, no matter how you think about this picture, it feels too much. However, what Ling Tian didn't expect was that he made a temporary decision to accept Mu Jingxiu as his apprentice, and unexpectedly completed another side quest. It is really good for people to be lucky, and they can pick up treasures even after a fall. Ding! Trigger the side quest, one day is a teacher and a lifelong father. As a teacher, you must do your best to let Mu Jingxiu grow, let her be kind, and let her become a heroic heroine. Ding! Trigger the side quest, only the capable and loyal since ancient times can help the monarch to open up the world. Within 10 days, Mu Jingxiu's loyalty must be increased to more than 80%. If it is not achieved, there will be a heavy penalty. Before Ling Tian was finished, the system had another mission. It's really timely, because I'm afraid I won't redeem it. Ling Tian happily opened the system interface. Name, Ling Tian Race, Human Lifespan, 405 days, 2 hours and 46 minutes, you can purchase a life extension card to continue life. Status, Leader of Xianming Sect, Patriarch of Demon Dao, Number 1 in Heaven Cultivation, Martial God Great Perfection Realm Absolute Field Range, 22 centimeters, with itself as the center of the circle to the surrounding area without dead ends. Exchange point, 3050 points. Items, 2 absolute counter-attack cards, High Level 1 Heaven Grade, 1 High Grade Yellow Grade, 1 Domain Card, Primary Suan Pin, 1 Special Effect Card, Middle Grade of Earth Grade, and the Exercise Method Lotus Flower Dance 1 Volume, Suan Pin Premium, Main Quest, Clear the Portal, Restore the Glory, 0/9, Lucky Value, 1 point, full of 10 or its multiples, you will get a Mysterious Spree, Skill, Eye of Judgment, Permanent Effect, Master and Apprentice, Mu Jingxiu, loyalty is 60%, only those who recognize this relationship will appear in this column. The first release of this book is from 17K Novel Network, so watch the genuine content for the first time. Qinglong Peak, the main hall of the Ghost Sect, the throne of the central high platform. Lin Mixuan leaned on the throne, squinting without saying a word. Under the high platform, the elders of the sect, the guardians of the law, the sect masters, the masters of the main halls, the messengers, etc., lined up on both sides of the hall, one by one, tremblingly. At this moment, the atmosphere in the hall was tense and depressing, as if it was a moment before the storm was coming. On the aisle in the middle of the 2 rows, a person delivering information was kneeling on one knee on the ground, waiting for Lin Mixuan's response. Is the information you got real? I don't know how long it took. Lin Mixuan on the high platform slowly opened his eyes and said to the people waiting in the aisle. It's true. This information was seen by the subordinates with their own eyes, and there is no falsehood at all. At that time, Senior Ling Tian really used one person to easily suppress the sect masters of the various sects present. Moreover, their weakest strength has also reached the middle stage of Emperor Wu. In addition, my subordinates also witnessed Senior Ling Tian using his finger as a sword to perform the Kang Yun sect's stunt Kang Yun sword on the spot. In just one breath, Li Yuntian, the head of the Kang Yun sect, vanished on the spot. The man on one knee in the middle aisle recounted what he had witnessed. Take your finger as a sword, how is this possible? A dozen or so sect masters shot together, their strength is not ordinary. How can Ling Tian be able to resist? That's right. And this 1000 years of practice is the limit, how could he still have such a powerful spiritual power? This is absolutely impossible. Not only has the deadline not reached, but the strength has not been reduced by half. How could such a thing happen? Besides, that Li Yuntian is a powerhouse at the peak of Emperor Wu's realm. He was killed in one move and vanished into ashes. Could it be that his Ling Tian strength is still at the peak realm? Everyone in the hall questioned and discussed. But at this moment, the middle-aged man standing at the front on the right spoke up. It may not be possible for a general cultivation genius. But he Ling Tian, is there anything impossible? Everyone looked at each other, and suddenly became quiet. After all, this man's status in the ghost religion is under one person and above 10,000 people. If he hadn't sacrificed his life to block the fatal sword for the leader, Lin Muxuan, the ghost sect at this moment might have long since ceased to exist. Therefore, from the day he survived, Lin Muxuan recognized that he was his real brother in this life. Not only did he sit on the top of the elders to lead the full-time teaching in the church, but many important matters in the teaching had to be discussed with him one by one before they could be implemented. And he did not live up to the high regard of the leader, Lin Muxuan. In just 10 years, he developed the ghost religion to a glorious scale, until now. Don't forget, everyone. The strength of the devil Ling Tian is unfathomable, and there are countless treasures in the mountains. For nearly 100 years, there have been rumors that Ling Tian has the ability to turn the world around. It seems that this time is really not groundless. The middle-aged man spoke again, with eagle-like eyes staring at Lin Muxuan on the throne of the high platform. He knew that the right path of the famous sects would not be besieged early or late, but he was besieged on the day when Ling Tian's 1,000-year lifespan came to an end. Such detailed information must have been released by Lin Muxuan. At this moment, Lin Muxuan did nothing. Sitting quietly on the throne, his expression made it clear that he was thinking about something. If it's true as old man Wei said, wouldn't the Ling Tian devil teach my ghost? Yet, if he really has the ability to turn things around, then our ghost sect will suffer a great disaster. How can this be good? Old Wei, you are well informed and talented. How likely do you think this devil Ling Tian has this way to turn the world around? For a time, the entire hall was discussing again. But as questions were thrown one by one, everyone was waiting for Old Wei's answer. At this moment, a long shout came from outside the hall, "Report! Report!" A young man rushed into the main hall in 3 steps, and then came to kneel beside the person who reported the situation before. Reporting to the sect master, Ji Longchuan, the head of the Yalan Hall of the Ghost Church branch, died today at the foot of the Mountain of Love. What? Hall Master Ji is dead. Why is this? Come on! Everyone was shocked again, and even Old Wei and Lin Muxuan, who had always been calm, had some changes in their faces. After all, he died at the foot of Jiking Mountain, which must have something to do with Ling Tian. Those who came to report the situation hurriedly told everyone in the hall what happened at the foot of the unrequited mountain in detail. After listening to this, everyone's face was ashen, and some people were even bloodless. It seems that the devil Ling Tian has really learned the art of turning the world around. It's still the sect leader who is wise and dangerous. If he hadn't always acted cautiously and looked farther than me, I'm afraid there will be a big disaster for the ghost sect today. Yet, I really underestimate the devil Ling Tian. It seems that we need to be more careful in the future. I don't know if this devil will attack us. Just when everyone was worried, the person who reported it spoke again. Report to the sect master, Ling Tian, the sect master of the Xianming sect, asked the disciples of Ji Tang to give you a message. He said, I will ask the sect master to talk about it, and let the sect master be honest. Otherwise. Speaking of this, the person who reported it didn't dare to say any more, for fear that Lin Muxuan would be angry and move his head. Otherwise what? At this time, on the high platform, Lin Muxuan's cold and sinister voice came again. Kill it. The person who reported the report said these 3 words tremblingly. Immediately, he knelt on the ground, bowed his head to the ground, and looked guilty. But at this moment, the corner of Lin Muxuan's mouth raised on the high platform, and the expression on his face was obviously excited instead of fear. "Looks like I'm going back to see Master and his old man." As soon as Lin Mixuan said these words, everyone in the hall was shocked, and they all spoke up to block it. Mainly because he was worried that Ling Tian would attack the ghost sect. After all, according to his character, once he starts, the ghost religion will disappear from this world. Therefore, they feel that small intolerance can lead to big plans. What's more, the words sent by Demon Ling Tian showed that he would not do anything to the ghost sect in the recent past. This is a lot of good news out of bad news. But how could they deduce like old way that everything that happened today was driven by Lin Mixuan behind the scenes? And at this moment, on the top of the mountain, inside the hall of Xianming sect, Ling Tian had just finished his meal and was sitting on the chair thinking about the task of enhancing Mu Jingxiu's loyalty and cultivating her. And Mu Jingxiu was cleaning up the tableware. Sudden ding! The host's words have been passed to the villain Lin Mu Xian's ears, and today he retired and besieged the right way. The successful killing of the ghost church master has caused him to be strongly wary, activate the monitoring effect of the Eye of Judgment, and reward 200 exchange points. Ding! Lin Mixuan, human race, martial god's peak realm, one of the former Xianming sect's guardians, the third villain of the host, majoring in the heavenly grade super flame lightning technique, has been practiced to the peak, and the heavenly grade high-level phantom wind and thunder marksmanship, has been practiced to the peak, has a high-end weapon of the gods and silver spear, loyalty 80%, judge's betrayal. Originally, I was a little happy when I suddenly received the exchange point. Who knew that Ling Tian would not be able to get up after seeing the negative loyalty at the end? If this loyalty is lower than 50%, the heart will sway from side to side, and if it is lower than 20%, it will be betrayed or even turn against each other. The negative number of this greasy code is still negative 80%. Is this the rhythm that will tear me to pieces? Headache. Ling Tian rubbed his temples with his hands, thinking that it was no wonder that the main task of this system was to clean up the portal and revive the glory, rather than to reform the face, slay the villains, and lead them to goodness. Furthermore, if these villains didn't really want to kill themselves, they would not have reached their own limit, their cultivation base would plummet, and even such information as the rare treasures of the Heartless Mountain, peerless exercises, etc., would not fall into the hands of those sects that are eyeing the ruthless mountains. He will not add fuel to the flames, fan the flames, set up a bureau to let famous people come to the siege, and will not sacrifice the life of a hall master in vain to confirm his true state. Senior, can Chen Shui rub your shoulders and back for you? Just when Ling Tian thought about it, Mu Jingxiu walked back to the main hall again, and came to Ling Tian obediently. What is your name as a teacher? Ling Tian's face was cold, like a 1,000-year-old ice cave. It makes people feel cold. Master, your disciple knows you're wrong. Mu Jingxiu hurriedly called. Ding! The system has detected that Mu Jingxiu's loyalty has risen to 65%, and the status is normal. Ling Tian was slightly startled, but she did not expect that this master sound would increase her loyalty by 5%. Hope to make persistent efforts to reach 80% as soon as possible. Ling Tian didn't want to be severely punished. It's not an example. Yes, Master. Disciple, rub your shoulders. Although Ling Tian hadn't done anything to Mu Jingxiu since the beginning, Mu Jingxiu still looked like she was walking on thin ice, trembling with fear. It is good. Seeing Ling Tian's promise, Mu Jingxiu obediently came behind Ling Tian and began to knead for Ling Tian. After a short while, Ling Tian really felt that the energy and blood in his whole body became much smoother, and even the feeling of exhaustion from before was relieved a lot. Ling Tian had never expected that Mu Jingxiu's hand would be so skillful. This meal is delicious, and the kneading technique is so effective, and among the peers, this cultivation base is not bad. Thinking of this, Ling Tian felt that Mu Jingxiu still won my heart. After reading this, Ling Tian asked lightly, Chen Shui, when did your injury happen? Go back to master, this is an old injury from a few months ago. Mu Jingxiu focused on kneading and did not dare to say more. A few months ago? This injury is not a difficult injury, why hasn't it been recovered yet? Ling Tian asked deliberately. Mu Jingxiu almost fainted. In master's eyes, this internal injury must be nothing but farts. But it's just torment on myself. Since he was injured by Ji Longchuan a few months ago, no matter how he adjusts his breath, it is of no use. Even taking some of the more precious miraculous medicines didn't seem to get any better. And every day when it was late at night, the whole body was like being burned by fire, and the pain was so uncontrollable that it was impossible to control. Several times, Mu Jingxiu died of pain on the spot. If that Ji Longchuan wanted Mu Jingxiu to marry his stupid son, and had tried to suppress her a few times, she would have gone to see King Yama. Returning to master, my apprentice's skills and knowledge are very shallow, and I really don't know how to fix the injury. If the master is willing to help, even if he gives me 1 or 2 pointers, the apprentice will be very grateful. At this moment, Mu Jingxiu knelt on the ground and was extremely respectful. Ling Tian glanced at Mu Jingxiu, but did not speak. He had already thought that Mu Jingxiu would beg him to take action. However, this is about the task of increasing loyalty. Reading www.howcanyouganshu.com just shoot. Although the quickest way to increase Mu Jingxiu's loyalty is to give her what she wants. But people are humble. The easier it is to get something, the less treasured it is, and the less valuable it is. So the more you want, the more difficult it is to get, and this will have more weight in people's hearts. Besides, Ling Tian is only a mortal now. Mu Jingxiu's martial soul great perfection realm cultivation base can't be reconciled, so what ability does he currently have to heal and reconcile her? Your injury, the teacher has a way to help you mediate. But today's time has not come, you have to wait 2 more days. Time not yet? Mu Jingxiu was stunned. Could it be that this healing still needs to choose an auspicious day, or something like a ceremony? But on second thought, Mu Jingxiu felt that this was just Ling Tian's excuse. The truth is that he still doesn't trust himself at the moment, and he needs to observe for a while before making a decision. It seems that master's mind is not only meticulous, but also very deep. In the future, you must be careful in everything. Mu Jingxiu pondered in her heart, hurriedly bowed, and said, "My disciple thanks master. Get up. Come on, give the teacher another rub." Yes. However, at this moment, a flying pigeon flew in from outside the hall. Ling Tian frowned slightly. I thought that the flying pigeons of Xianming sect were not roasted and eaten by the big devil long ago? Why is there another one? When in doubt, Mu Jingxiu jumped up and grabbed the flying pigeon. But the moment she held the flying pigeon, her complexion suddenly changed. This is the special flying pigeon for Yulantang. Could it be? Mu Jingxiu's heart tensed, and when she was about to remove the note from Fei Ji, she didn't take into account whether Ling Tian was present or not. The first release of this book is from 17K Novel Network, so watch the genuine content for the first time. At this moment, Mu Jingxiu hurriedly opened the note, and 2 lines of small words appeared in front of him. Senior Sister Jingxiu, the death of the head of the Yalan Hall has made the ghost sect angry. 2 days later, all the seniors and sisters in the dungeon will be put to death as an example. What should we do? Mu Jingxiu looked worried and angry. I thought quickly in my heart. When Ling Tian saw Mu Jingxiu's expression like this, he was immediately thoughtful. However, the surface is still calm, with a cold and indifferent look. Flying pigeons pass the book, what's the matter? Ling Tian said indifferently. Mu Jingxiu immediately turned around and knelt down and presented the note. Just as he was about to speak, Ling Tian reached out his hand to stop him. Ling Tian took a look at the note and immediately understood. As expected. Now everything is going on as I thought. But Lin Mixuan, do you really think you know this seat? Humph. At this point, Ling Tian slowly got up and quietly looked at Mu Jingxiu. Then he spoke slowly. Chen Shui, do you want to help the teacher? Mu Jingxiu was immediately shocked, knowing that this problem is not as simple as it seems on the surface. In fact, Ling Tian was testing his own methods again. Moreover, no one knew that Lin Mixuan, the leader of the ghost sect, was Ling Tian's third apprentice, and his behavior was very similar to him. Furthermore, this ghost religion and the Xianming religion have the same origin in the final analysis. Today, he has also worshipped the way of the devil and became a devil disciple. Master Ling Tian is the head of the great evil, the ancestor of the devil. The Jing Yuemen belongs to the famous school of the right way. Since ancient times, right and wrong have been at odds. Either you killed me or I killed you. At this point in the camp, how could Mu Jingxiu ask the master to rescue the seniors and sisters of Jing Yuemen? However, he was also a disciple of Jing Yuemen before, and had received many favors from Jing Yuemen. If it wasn't for revenge, how could he devote himself to the demon sect? And a person who doesn't remember his old feelings and doesn't care about his old kindness has any qualifications to say that he is a loyal person. What's more, only those who are loyal to their hearts can have a clear conscience towards others and others. Thinking of this, Mu Jingxiu has an answer deep in his heart. After she kowtowed to Ling Tianzan, she said with a firm and serious expression. Master, the disciple is not filial. The disciple is already a person in the devil's way, but he can't ignore the teachers and sisters of Jing Yuemen. So he is willing to ask the master to expel Chen Shui from the master. In this way, the master will not be misunderstood by others, disciple. Increased infamy. And Jingxiu can also fulfill this wish and go to save the seniors and sisters of Jing Yuemen. After hearing this, Ling Tian felt very happy in his heart, but his expression remained the same, without any disturbance. This is your decision. Ling Tian stood with his hands behind his back, and there was a little displeasure in his tone. Although Mu Jingxiu could hear Ling Tian's displeasure, she was still firm. Yes, master. Okay. If that's the case, then as a teacher, I will help you. 2 days later, I will rescue everyone for you and level you Lantang. As soon as Ling Tian said this, Mu Jingxiu was shocked to the extreme on the spot. The whole person froze in disbelief. At the same time, the system prompt sounded. Ding! Trigger the side quest, 2 days later, save the disciples of Jing Yuemen, smash Yu Lantang, and deter many people with dissent behind them. Ding! The system has detected that Mu Jingxiu's loyalty has risen to 75% and is in good condition. Ding! It is detected that Mu Jingxiu's loyalty has increased from 65% to 75%, and an additional 200 exchange points will be awarded. Hearing the next 2 system prompts, Ling Tian was very satisfied. The task of increasing Mu Jingxiu's loyalty was not within reach. Master, Master, this. Mu Jingxiu really didn't know what to do. After all, when the big devil Ling Tian said such words, it was truly unthinkable. What? Do you have any objection to the teacher's decision? Ling Tian said indifferently. Mu Jingxiu didn't dare to object, and hurriedly shook her head. For fear that Ling Tianxia could speak for a second would not count. Thank you, Master. Master is so kind and virtuous, and the disciple should keep it in mind. If there is anything that needs the disciple in the future, please ask the Master to do whatever he wants. Even if he goes up the mountain of swords and falls into the sea of fire, the disciple will do everything he can to do it for the Master. At this moment, Mu Jingxiu was not only shocked by Ling Tian, but also grateful. Okay. Then I'll give my teacher a braised pigeon as a snack tonight. Ha! Mu Jingxiu was stunned. Even the flying pigeon was so frightened that it fell to the ground on the spot, convulsing all over. Ling Tian ignored Mu Jingxiu and entered the secret room directly. In the secret room, Ling Tian opened the system interface to check. Name, Ling Tian. Race, human. Lifespan, 404 days, 23 hours, and 47 minutes, you can purchase a life extension card to continue life. Status: Leader of Xianming Sect, Patriarch of Demon Dao, Number 1 in Heaven. Cultivation: Martial God. Great Perfection Realm. Absolute Field Range, 22 centimeters, with itself as the center of the circle to the surrounding area without dead ends. Exchange points: 3,450 points. Items: 2 absolute counterattack cards, High Level 1 Heaven Grade, 1 High Grade Yellow Grade, 1 Domain Card, Primary Suan Pin, 1 Special Effect Card, Middle Grade of Earth Grade, and the Exercise Method Lotus Flower Dance 1 Volume. Suan Pin Premium, Main Quest, Clear the Portal, Restore the Glory, 0/9, Lucky Value, 1 point, full of 10 or its multiples, you will get a Mysterious Spree, Skill, Eye of Judgment, Permanent Effect, Master and Apprentice, Mu Jingxiu, Loyalty 75%, only those who recognize this relationship will appear in this column. Seeing that the few remaining exchange points had risen to more than 3,000 in an instant, Ling Tian couldn't even mention how happy he was. Coupled with the props cards obtained in the previous lottery, it is simply a big profit. Not to mention other things, just the Profound Grade Elementary Domain card, there is number 3000 point exchange point, and it is impossible to get it. There is also that high level absolute counter-attack card of Tin Pin, which is so expensive that it breaks through the sky and requires tens of thousands of exchange points. Therefore, whenever he thought of those prop cards being so expensive, Ling Tian's heart sank. Use Henry Zhang's first level domain card to warm the heart first. Ling Tian's thoughts moved, and the Profound Grade Elementary Domain card on the item bar instantly disappeared. A beep sounds immediately. Ding! Successfully using the Profound Grade Elementary Domain card, the absolute domain range has increased by 5 meters, and is currently 522 centimeters. 5 meters! Ling Tian danced with joy like a child when he heard the result. 5 meters! This means that Ling Tian is now able to control everything within a space of 5 meters in length, width, and height. Let you run, let you stop. It's a piece of cake to even tear you apart and to ashes. No longer do you have to wait until someone hits you in front of you, like the previous 10 centimeters, before you can show off your power. More importantly, Ling Tian was really afraid that one day if he was not careful and could not control it, he would be killed by others. But it's fine now. Under the current scope of this absolute domain, Ling Tian doesn't have to worry too much about being attacked, and the problem of not being able to respond quickly enough for a surprise attack. It can be considered that there is no need to consider improving the absolute field range for the time being. Because the most important thing is lifespan, followed by self-defense props cards. Opening the exchange mall, Ling Tian began to prepare for the battle in 2 days. Because he knew that he, the villain, passed the book through flying pigeons in order to lead himself to take action. Therefore, this time, it will be more fortunate than lucky. He wants to take this opportunity to personally confirm whether his cultivation has dropped. Is your deadline really approaching? In fact, the most important thing is to confirm whether he really has the art of turning things around, as the rumors say. Perhaps, apart from the villain Lin Mixuan, the 5 apprentices closest to him, the palace master of Tianzu Palace, Momo Li, the 7th apprentice Chuzheng, and his 4th apprentice Zhuang Jiaohan will all come to help. As for the eldest apprentice, Shura Go Wenyao, the 2nd apprentice, Chongqing Pavilion Master Shen Wangqing, and the 8th apprentice, Sword Demon Ronan Zhu Xingziu, they will all observe secretly and find out. At that time, no one knows what these villains will do. The light ones are to make things difficult to find out, and watch the changes, and the heavy ones will make joint shots and kill the teacher on the spot. So, if you don't prepare some trump cards in advance, you really won't be able to resist this time. Thinking about this, Ling Tian understands even more that this action requires a lot of blood. When is life the most important thing? After flipping through a few pages of item cards, Ling Tian's eyes fell on the special offer column. It is found that the item cards in this column are not only offensive, but also passive. Although there are not many choices, there are a dozen or so. After looking at it, I found it to be quite useful. In particular, Ling Tian liked the following 3 cards. Tinpin's high-level counterattack against the sky, preferential experience card. After using this item card, you will have absolute power within 5 points. You can use all kinds of big moves at will, and you will be invincible when you encounter gods and kill gods. Exchange 500 points. Tinpin Premium Haina Beishuan, preferential experience card. After using this item card, you can ignore any level of attack within 10 minutes, and take the damage and power of the opponent's attack as your own and use it for my own use. Exchange 500 points. Tinpin High-Level Disdain for the Heroes, preferential experience card. After using this item card, 3 absolute coercion will be released within 3 minutes, each time is stronger, which can make people in the early stage of Emperor Wu and below coma on the spot. In the middle stage of Emperor Wu, those in the realm and above are afraid, and their bodies are stiff for at least 10 seconds. Exchange points for 500 points. There is no hesitation, after all, there is no such shop after this village. Exchange. 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 Ding. Congratulations to the host for successfully redeeming 1 high-level Tinpin counterattack, 2 high-level Tinpin Haina Beishuan, and 1 high-level Tinpin high-ranking hero. A total of 2,000 points are spent in exchange. Seeing that there were still 1450 exchange points left, Ling Tian gritted his teeth and stomped his feet and then exchanged for a Tinpin high-level counterattack card and a Tinpin special grade Haina Beishuan. Although the usage time of these item cards is more than 5 times shorter than the original item cards. However, the effect of using the card has not changed. And the price is more than 10 times cheaper than the original price. Based on these 2 points, no matter how much you consume the exchange points, you have to buy them. As the saying goes, be prepared. When I opened the interface, I saw a huge change in the exchange points and item bar. Redemption points, 450 points items, 2 absolute counterattack cards, high-level celestial grade 1, high-level yellow grade 1, 1 special effect card, intermediate grade of earth grade, 1 volume of the exercise lotus dance diagram, special grade Suan Pin, counterattack against the sky 2 cards, Tianjin high grade, 3 Haina Beishuan cards, Tianjin special, 1 distinguishing heroes card, Tianjin high grade, and 1 perk card, Suan Pin middle grade. Ling Tian looked at the 450 point exchange point and couldn't do anything. Then there's a lottery. You reading www.youcanshu.com anyway, he's already made up. These 450 points can be drawn 9 times, and you can accumulate 9 lucky points. Adding the remaining point before, it is exactly 10 points of luck. Even if the lottery was unsuccessful 9 times, Ling Tian would definitely win a mysterious gift package. Thinking of the good things that came out of the mysterious gift package last time, Ling Tian is now full of joy. Lottery. Ding! The lottery starts. The results of this lottery draw: 3 Earth grade first level Tian Ling Yuan Kai pills, and 1 mysterious grade intermediate level beauty card. Accumulated 2 lucky points. Do you want to continue? Yo, good start. I hope this luck continues, keep going. Ding, the lottery starts. The result of the lottery: thank you for your patronage. Accumulated 3 lucky points. Do you want to continue? Ling Tian was fine, with a smile on his face. Ding, the lottery starts. The result of this lottery: thank you for your patronage. Accumulated lucky value of 4 points. Do you want to continue? Ling Tian was speechless, still smiling. Ding, the lottery starts. The result of this lottery: thank you for your patronage. Accumulated lucky value of 5 points. Do you want to continue? Ling Tian's face darkened and he kept smiling. Ding, the lottery starts. The result of this lottery, thank you for your patronage. The accumulated lucky value is 8 points, do you want to continue? Ling Tian jumped like thunder, I at % you in number and... Ding, the lottery starts. The result of the lottery, thank you for your patronage. Accumulated lucky value of 10 points, do you want to continue? Ling Tian was disheartened and had long been speechless. This lottery draw made Ling Tian truly feel the change in his heart from heaven to hell. But that's okay. I also have a mysterious gift package. I don't know what good things I can get this time. The first release of this book is from 17K Novel Network, so watch the genuine content for the first time. Side hall kitchen. Mu Qingxiu looked at the flying pigeon in front of him with a cold expression. She pinched the belly of the flying pigeon and pressed it on the cutting board, with the kitchen knife directly under its neck, looking like a killer at any moment. And Fei Ji has long been frightened to the point where his heart and gallbladder are torn apart, and his panicked eyes are full of pear blossoms. Master wants to eat braised pigeon for dessert tonight, you, die. Mu Qingxiu raised his kitchen knife quickly, and then stabbed it at the neck of the flying pigeon. Seeing this, the flying pigeon struggled hard. In just one breath, the white knife went in and the red knife came out. The flying pigeon died on the spot. Ding! My disciple, Mu Qingxiu, obeys the teacher's orders. In order to complete the task of braised pigeons, kill a flying pigeon and get 20 exchange points. Hearing the sound, Ling Tian almost fell off the stone chair without being surprised. This works. It seems that as long as the disciple obeys the teacher's orders and completes the things he explained, he can get the exchange points. Yes, we must make good use of it in the future. Ling Tian put his mind back to the mysterious gift bag in front of him. Open the mysterious spree. Ding! Consume 10 lucky points, and the system will open a mysterious gift pack. 5, 4, 1. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a super-grade Super Mount Chongming bird, an ancient divine bird, a beast of auspiciousness. It has a lot of vigor, can fight beasts, and can ward off disasters such as beasts and monsters. Therefore, birds have 2 eyeballs in both eyes, so the eyes can release the spiritual light, and the perpetrator will fall into a brief trance. Is it summoned? Reminder, there is only one last chance to draw the mysterious spree at the 10-point lucky value level. Call. Ling Tian's thoughts moved, but he heard a phoenix roar resounding through the heavens and the earth, and then he saw a chicken-like Chongming bird burst out of the sky. Immediately, one after another auspicious light enveloped the entire secret room, and everything around felt peaceful and quiet. After Chongming bird appeared, it slowly landed beside Ling Tian. Immediately, he rubbed his head against Ling Tian's cheek to show his obedience. Ling Tian touched its head, then jumped on its back. Walk! Chongming bird screamed in the sky, then jumped up and rushed out of the secret room. An auspicious aura like a horse passed through the air, and the entire mountain of love was shrouded in auspicious light. In particular, the Xianming temple on the top of the mountain is like a holy place for immortals to practice Taoism. This is... Mu Qingxiu came out of the kitchen of the side hall, only to see colorful auspicious clouds in the sky, and above the auspicious clouds, a figure was faintly visible. Like flying clouds and driving fog, hovering above the unrequited mountains. At this moment, one after another auspicious light enveloped the heaven and earth, and even the aura between heaven and earth was activated by that auspicious aura, constantly lingering in the hall. Such an auspicious vision, let alone Mu Qingxiu had never seen it in his life. Even the devil Ling Tian who has lived for thousands of years has never seen it. At this moment, all the passers-by who saw this scene in the area of Jiaqing Mountain were all kneeling on the ground and praying devoutly. Even the spies who hid in the mountain of Unforgettable to observe Ling Tian's movements were shocked. Colorful auspicious clouds, auspicious air, could it be that the devil broke through the catastrophe and regained a new life? Impossible. Breaking through the catastrophe is a child's play. It is rumored that the devil's limit has fallen, and his body is weak. How can he withstand the power of the catastrophe? Look! Who is that person on Zion Jiun? It seems to be the devil Ling Tian. No way? Let me see. It's the devil. Hey? My mother. Will the devil become an immortal? No, no, I have to send this news back quickly. Informed and reported, there was a sudden vision of heaven and earth in the mountain of lovers this evening, and the auspicious aura was dense and permeated. The preliminary judgment is related to the robbery of the devil, please be careful. Urgent report, colorful auspicious clouds emerge from the mountain of love, the light of auspiciousness covers the sky and the earth, the devil soars into the clouds and rides the fog in the sky, and the cultivation base is extremely thick, please be careful. In an instant, pigeons flew out from all over the mountain. When Ling Tian saw this, his face immediately turned black. How many spies are lurking under this ruthless mountain? Chongming bird! Get me those flying pigeons back! As soon as the voice fell, Chongming bird made a long cry. As soon as the sound of the phoenix came out, 100 birds came. What's more, those flying pigeons, after hearing the chirping of the Chongming bird, immediately changed their direction, and all fluttered their wings and flew behind the Chongming bird. The spies at the bottom of the unrequited mountain were simply dumbfounded. Ding! The host successfully blocked 50 copies of the news of the Heartless Mountain and gained 500 exchange points. Ling Tian smiled slightly. Immediately, the voice came from the sky at the top of the mountain, the sound was like a bell, strong and powerful. After today, if this seat sees you again, die. Hearing the last word, the spies turned blue with fright and were at a loss. No matter whether they go or stay, they already have the answer in their hearts. If you go back, you will at most be punished by the sect. If you stay, you will die. It's clear at a glance. Suddenly, a large group of people poured out like ants moving from the hidden places at the bottom of the unforgettable mountain. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully expelling 50 spies from various sects in Jiaqing Mountain, and obtaining 500 exchange points. Ling Tian originally wanted to try his own lottery to see if he could pull the wind, but who knew he would come out for a while and pocket 1000 points of exchange. At this moment, looking at the 50 flying pigeons parked behind Chongming bird, Ling Tian smiled. These are all exchange points. Ling Tian rode the Ming bird and flew back to the main hall. At the moment of landing, Mu Jingxiu was completely stunned. I almost dropped the roasted squab in my hand. My God, it turns out that the person on the colorful auspicious cloud is actually the master. This cultivation level is probably the realm of the great perfection of the martial god. No, it is simply supernatural. Such a powerful person would accept me as an apprentice, and even promised me to help the seniors and sisters of Jingyuemen. How many lifetimes of blessings did I have to cultivate to get this opportunity? Ding! The system has detected that Mu Jingxiu's loyalty has risen to 80%, and the status is loyal. Ding! Complete the side quest. Since ancient times, loyal and capable people can help the monarch to open up the world. Mu Jingxiu's loyalty has reached 80%, and he will get 1000 exchange points. Looking at Mu Jingxiu, who was absent for a long time, Ling Tian smiled with satisfaction. Sure enough, in the face of absolute strength, everyone will finally surrender. Why are you in a daze? Ling Tian asked lightly, his face calm. Seeing Ling Tian coming in front of him, Mu Jingxiu came back to his senses. Master, the braised pigeon is ready. Please taste it. Well, the pigeons will be handed over to you. Only then did Mu Jingxiu discover that outside the main hall, a large group of flying pigeons were crawling on the ground, showing great respect to Chongming bird. In particular, the auspicious aura emanating from the Chongming bird is simply calming. This kind of auspicious beast is unique in the world. And it is also the mount of the master's old man, which is simply unparalleled. How could Mu Qingxiu not understand such mounts in his heart? Not to mention that such supernatural beasts cannot be met at all, and even if they do meet, they cannot be tamed at all. Because they are completely different from those spirit beasts of the heaven and earth Xianhuang rank. They possess divinity, and only those they approve of will follow them to the death. Otherwise, it is to die. And now the auspicious beast in front of you, it actually recognizes the peerless patriarch of Demon Dao. What does this mean? This shows that the master is well hidden, very well. He is definitely not as evil as he appears on the surface. Mu Qingxiu turned around. Looking at Ling Tian, who was grey-haired and old-fashioned in front of him, he couldn't help but feel more respect in his heart. Dust snow. What's the master's order? Mu Qingxiu was respectful. Your injury should not be delayed any longer. Otherwise, it may hurt your meridians, destroy your cultivation, and even die in severe cases. Ling Tian said casually, but Mu Qingxiu's face turned blue with fright. Although he wanted to ask Master to take action in his heart, he did not dare to speak. When Ling Tian saw this, he knew that the foreshadowing was in place. He continued, "My teacher will concoct alchemy for you tonight. Remember not to disturb, otherwise the alchemy will be destroyed." Mu Qingxiu was stunned for a moment, then surprised and delighted, and knelt down to salute. "Master, how can the disciple, let the master make alchemy as a disciple?" The disciple is really flattered. "Stop talking nonsense. If you have the heart, you will serve as a teacher in the future." Ling Tian waved his sleeves, turned and walked towards the secret room. The disciple must serve the master well in his whole life, never betray him. Mu Qingxiu looked at Ling Tian's back and kowtowed deeply. Ding! The system has detected that Mu Qingxiu's loyalty has risen to 85%, and the status is very loyal. Ding! It is detected that Mu Qingxiu's loyalty has increased from 80% to 85%, and an additional 200 exchange points will be awarded. Ling Tian raised the corner of his mouth slightly, and then stepped into the secret room. It seems that this hard Tojit effect is quite effective. In this way, Mu Qingxiu's loyalty does not need to be considered for the time being. At this moment, Ling Tian opened the system window. Name, Ling Tian. Race, human. Lifespan, 404 days, 22 hours and 35 minutes, you can purchase a life extension card to extend your life. Status, leader of Xianming sect, patriarch of Demon Dao, number 1 in heaven. Cultivation, martial god. Great perfection. Realm. Absolute field range, 522 centimeters, with itself as the center of the circle to the surrounding area without dead ends. Exchange point, 2220 points. Items, 2 absolute counterattack cards, high grade celestial grade 1, high grade yellow grade 1. 1 special effect card, intermediate grade of earth grade, 1 volume of the exercise lotus dance diagram, special grade Suan Pin, counterattack against the sky. 2 cards, Tianjin High Evil, 3 Haina Beishuan cards, Tin Pin Super, 1 distinguishing heroes card, Tianjin High Evil, 2 Yin Yan cards, Suan Pin Intermediate, 3 Tianling Vitality Pills, Earth Grade, Main Quest, Clear the Portal, Restore the Glory, 0/9, Lucky Value, 0 points, if you reach 10 or its multiples. You will get a Mysterious Spree, Skill, Eye of Judgment, Permanent Effect, Master and Apprentice, Mu Qingxiu, Loyalty 85%, only those who recognize this relationship from Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com will appear in this column. Mount, Chongming Bird, Super Heaven Grade. Super Grade, Ancient Divine Bird. Looking at the column full of item cards, Ling Tian was very happy. Especially when I saw the 2 Profound Grade Mid-Level Beauty cards, I couldn't help but laugh out loud. This is the secret medicine to bring yourself back to life. And Mu Qingxiu, who voluntarily guarded the door of the secret room, heard the laughter, and her face became suspicious. Master, is this alchemy, or is he practicing laughter? This laughter is too magical. In the secret room, Ling Tian regained his composure. Immediately, with the thought, the two profound grade mid-level prestige cards on the item column disappeared instantly. Sudden. A huge aura was surging in the secret room. However, after a few breaths, these auras gathered towards Ling Tian. Immediately it poured into his body, moisturizing his whole body. The muscles that were stronger than before are now stronger, and the body is lighter. Even breathing and blood flow are much smoother. Ling Tian vaguely felt that the lifeless Danshan had a little bit of vitality. It was like a sliver of fire in the abyss, burning. The fire of hope. What Ling Tian is feeling now is the light of hope for a new life in the future. The 3 Suanpin middle-level Yan cards made him 90 years younger. For ordinary people, this is simply rejuvenating. But to Ling Tian, who had lived for 1,000 years, it was nothing at all. Ling Tian clenched his fists tightly and felt his younger body. Feel good. Ling Tian believed that appearing in front of those people with such a spiritual outlook would definitely surprise them. The first release of this book is from 17K Novel Network, so watch the genuine content for the first time. At the same time, Mu Jingxiu, who was guarding outside the secret room, was amazed. She felt the unprecedented power surging frantically, like a huge wave rolling forward. And all of this is very clearly gathered in one place, inside the secret room. With such a powerful force surging, what level of medicine is Master and his old man refining? Suanpin special grade? No. Such a condensed power is at least the first grade medicine pill. Earth grade elementary. It would be great if Master really made me an Earth grade elementary elixir. Thinking of this, Mu Jingxiu hurriedly shook her head and patted her cheek, for fear that she would not wake up. Mu Jingxiu, what are you thinking about? Earth grade pills. How rare is this kind of pills? Let's not talk about how rigorous and low the success rate is in refining the pills of this grade. As far as the materials of this pill are concerned, they are all rare treasures in this world. And there is no alchemist with a cultivation level above Emperor Wu who casts powerful spiritual power into the medicinal pill, and performs a series of consuming actions such as moisturizing, condensing, and maintaining. At this moment, I still want the first level pills of the Earth grade, which is simply crazy and delusional. This is simply a great disrespect to the old master. Thinking of this, Mu Jingxiu was deeply ashamed. With a thud, he knelt on the ground, slammed his head 3 times, and murmured in his mouth. The disciple should not have such selfishness, the disciple knows he is wrong. Please forgive the disciple. Ding! The system has detected that Mu Jingxiu's loyalty has risen to 90%, and the status is absolutely loyal. Ding! It is detected that Mu Jingxiu's loyalty has increased from 85% to 90%, and an additional 300 exchange points will be awarded. The sudden notification sound really surprised Ling Tian. After all, he had absolutely no idea what was going on, and this Mu Jingxiu's loyalty actually increased by himself. 90%, absolutely loyal. Although this Mu Jingxiu is an elf, he is still inexperienced in the world and has very little experience, so it is so easy to increase his loyalty. In the future, he must be taught well. Looking at the exchange points that were originally empty, now they have accumulated a lot. After all, there are 2,520 points. Ling Tian pulled back his thoughts and began to think about preparations. After all, it's really coming to Yalan Hall, no one knows what the situation will be. In any case, there must be many people who stop it. So the mere few prop cards are really stretched. Furthermore, Ling Tian's character has always been cautious, and he is well versed in the reason of carefully making the Wanyan ship. Therefore, he plans to prepare more prop cards. After all, there are no such affordable and useful item cards after today. Open the special offer column of the item card. Ling Tian was about to exchange it without saying a word, but the special offer column suddenly disappeared. Then a line of words appeared on the interface. Today's special offer has expired, so stay tuned for the next event. Ling Tian almost lost his breath. It was only a few tens of seconds away, but 100 million was missed as a result. Why doesn't this make one's heart bleed? However, since things had come to this point, Ling Tian had nothing to say. He walked towards the stone bed in front of him and began to erect the corpse. Outside the secret room, Mu Jingxiu's body was straight, his nerves were tense, and the pair of spiritual eyes revealed a sharp gaze. At this moment, a fly and 2 mosquitoes buzzed, and they were still 3 or 4 meters away from the secret room. Mu Jingxiu made a decisive move, first slashing the flies with one sword, and then killing 2 mosquitoes on the stone wall with one palm. The shot is quick and sharp, without delay. With me, Mu Jingxiu, see who dares to approach. Mu Jingxiu snorted coldly, and immediately returned to the stone gate of the secret room, holding her head high. Her aura was arrogant, like a military general guarding one side, and would never allow others to attack. Until late at night, there was a painful struggle from outside the secret room. Although the voice was suppressed, it still entered the secret room through the heavy stone door. Ling Tian immediately opened his eyes and stood up. After all, people are old and light-hearted. In addition, the previous deadline was approaching, and the cultivation base plummeted, and the devil was also worried that those villains and the righteous would take the opportunity to attack and assassinate. So over the years, the devil almost slept less, and even some troubles made him sleepless at night. It's a habit that has been around for hundreds of years. Ling Tian came to the center of the secret room and looked up. Through the open hole in the secret room, it was discovered that it was the 4 quarters of the time at this moment. It seems that Mu Jingxiu's injury has occurred. However, why is she still in the main hall? Ling Tian was slightly puzzled, and then walked out of the secret room. At this moment, a figure with a red fruit swooped in from not far away like a beast. When Ling Tian saw this, he screamed, and instinctively jumped up. Boom! The muffled sound sounded, and the figure fell directly like a heavy hammer. The whole ground trembled a few times. Ling Tian looked intently, and it was Mu Jingxiu who fell down. At this moment, her eyes were scarlet, and she grinned, as if possessed. And there was a rush of heat all over his body. My God! Being injured can be so terrifying. Ling Tian was surprised. The next second, a name appeared in my mind, soul-eating qi poison pill. Ling Tian was really familiar with this poison pill. After all, this is the proud work of the 4th apprentice Zhuang Jiaohan. However, compared to the previous poison pill, this time it has been improved even more. It can not only make Mu Jingxiu's poisonous fire attack his heart and suffer from severe pain, but also make him irrational and completely controlled by his inner demon. It even stimulated the potential in Mu Jingxiu's body, greatly increasing his strength. In the end, it became a slaughter demon. Such a poisonous pill, it is simply annihilating humanity. Ling Tian had an angry look on his face, wishing he could kill Zhuang Jiaohan now. Roar! At this moment, Mu Jingxiu roared wildly at Ling Tian, like a wild beast, rushing forward with his hands and feet. In the blink of an eye, Mu Jingxiu's sharp fingertips stabbed directly like a sharp blade. Just as he was about to poke into Ling Tian's eyebrows, Ling Tian's eyes widened. Without any gorgeous moves, and without any spiritual power fluctuations, Mu Jingxiu suddenly stayed in the void. Now, not to mention that Mu Jingxiu couldn't move at all, even the beating of his heart was completely under Ling Tian's control. Not to mention that her mouth can make the slightest sound. Looking at Mu Jingxiu staying in the void, naked. Although he had a good figure and fair skin, Ling Tian's heart was full of anger at the moment. Especially when he saw Mu Jingxiu, whose originally sweet and delicate face was full of twisted and sinister features, he felt that it was imperative to clean up these villains. He took off his coat and hurriedly put it on Mu Jingxiu. Immediately, with the thought, 3 first-grade Tianling Yuankai pills appeared in Ling Tian's hands. Ling Tian picked up one and stuffed it into Mu Jingxiu's mouth, and the Tianling primordial qi pill melted instantly. Immediately, it turned into a path of spiritual power that flowed through Mu Jingxiu's extraordinary meridians, nourishing her limbs and bones. But after a few breaths, Mu Jingxiu's scarlet eyes began to return to their original appearance. The violence and turbidity disappeared in an instant, and turned to be clear and agile, like the eyes of a child who had never been in the world. The distorted face on his face also began to stretch. The tense muscles in the whole body and the nerves slowly relax. However, under the control of Ling Tian's absolute domain, the state that should be maintained has not changed much. Ling Tian glanced at Mu Jingxiu and knew that her animal nature had subsided. Even now, it's no big deal to lift control. Untie. With Ling Tian's thoughts together, Mu Jingxiu fell into Ling Tian's arms from the void. Master, Master! After Mu Jingxiu murmured weakly, he passed out. After an unknown amount of time, when she opened her eyes, she realized that the sky was already bright, and she was lying on the stone bed. This. Mu Jingxiu hurriedly sat up, looked around, and found that she was actually in Master's secret room. What's going on? Me, why am I here? Where's the Master? Hey! As the coat on his body fell, Mu Jingxiu realized that he was actually covered in red fruit. Mu Jingxiu's exclamation echoed over the entire Xianming sect. Hearing this cry, Ling Tian was not surprised at all. Because he had long expected that Mu Jingxiu would wake up like this. So last night, I went to the side hall alone and grilled the pigeons overnight. Mu Jingxiu hurriedly picked up the coat on the stone bed to cover her body. The brain quickly recalled everything that happened last night. After she figured out the ins and outs, she breathed a sigh of relief. It turned out that Master rescued me. But Mu Jingxiu couldn't remember what happened after she was unconscious. Mu Jingxiu, what are you thinking? How could you do those things as a master? As soon as the words came out, words such as Ling Tian Great Demon, No Evil Do Not Do Anything, Desperate Conscience and so on appeared in Mu Jingxiu's mind. She swallowed dryly and hurriedly picked up the clothes folded aside and put them on. Then out of the secret room. Master! As soon as he left the secret room, Mu Jingxiu saw Ling Tian walking slowly from outside the main hall. Why is it so noisy in the early morning? It disturbs my dreams. Ling Tian's face was indifferent, and there was even a sense of blame in his tone. Mu Jingxiu took a look. Ling Tian's face was as black as a charcoal, scary. Just when he was about to kneel down and admit his mistake, Mu Jingxiu was surprised to find that the left corner of Ling Tian's mouth was not right. What's on the corner of Master's mouth? Mu Jingxiu was trembling and pointed at the left corner of Ling Tian's mouth in the void. Ling Tian was also curious, but his face was still cold and silent. He wiped the corner of his mouth with his hand, and when he saw it, he was stunned. My God, isn't that charcoal? And there's pigeon meat on it. How can that be explained? Ling Tian looked at the charcoal dust on his fingers in a trance. And Mu Jingxiu is also honest, as if he won't leave until he waits for the answer. After a while, Ling Tian spoke slowly. I was hungry after making the medicinal pills for my teacher, so I roasted a pigeon to fill my stomach. Why not? Ling Tian still looked indifferent and calm, but in fact he was already embarrassed to death. Tutor dare not. Tutor will prepare breakfast for Master. Mu Jingxiu said respectfully. I've been tormented by you all night for my teacher, I'm tired. Mu Jingxiu blushed suddenly and did not dare to speak. Especially when thinking about the fact that he was still naked. Read www.yuyuganshu.com was so ashamed that he wanted to find a hole to burrow into. That's right. Chen Shuet, come with the teacher. Ling Tian waved his hand and walked towards the secret room as if nothing had happened. Yes. Mu Jingxiu trembled and followed Ling Tian into the secret room. There is a shelf over there, there is the clear lotus heart method you want, take it to practice well. In addition, this is the first level Tianling Vitality Pill. Beginner grade. Looking at the 2 pills in Ling Tian's hand, they were black and shiny, and they were natural. Although they were small, they exuded a unique scent of pills. It makes people feel at ease when they smell it. Is this an earth-grade medicine pill? It's as strange as the rumors say. It's really rare. Just when Mu Jingxiu was shocked and sighed, Ling Tian put the 2 first-grade Heavenly Spirit Primordial Qi pills in Mu Jingxiu's hands. There were originally 3 pills. To save you last night, I used 1. You can decide the remaining 2 for yourself. After Mu Jingxiu took the 2 pills, she was so moved that her eyes filled with tears and she was speechless. Okay. I'm tired for the teacher. Take the Qinglian heart method and go. Yes. The disciple has thanked the master. After Mu Jingxiu thanked him, he took the Qinglian heart technique and left the secret room. At this moment, her heart was extremely complicated. She really didn't know if Ling Tian in front of her was the rumored big devil who made people feel fearful and did all kinds of evil. On the contrary, I feel that it is really good to be his apprentice. Looking at Ling Tian's back in the secret room, Mu Jingxiu swore secretly in his heart. In this life and this life, Chen Shui will definitely not live up to Master's efforts. I swear to follow Master and stay by your side. The first release of this book is from 17K Novel Network, so watch the genuine content for the first time. Author's note: new books for collection and comments.